Okay.
There we go.
Right, now it's live.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah. The whole world's watching you now, so don't make a fool of yourself or anything because you'll be seen. No, we were just saying that your site has really picked up in the last 2 weeks. It's really picked up.
Right?
And those two videos.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Like, I think we gained like almost 200 subscribers just yesterday alone. I'm completely floored by it.
Yeah, it just suddenly shot up.
He's floored by it. There's a backstory to that.
Okay.
So I can't see it, so maybe I need to hit a different button, huh? Or are we still private?
No, this is live.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go. I found comments.
Uh-huh. I'm not technically minded with this stuff, so I just go by what they say. What him and Matt normally says. So how's everybody's day gone anyway today?
Ours is great. How's
We're
everybody up here?
Listen,
I mean,
I see Jessica.
I'm just sat in a truck yard in Pennsylvania, Schneiders yard, with all the other people. They must be just sat in their trucks. I was just saying to Nick that there's nobody inside the building, so I'm tempted to just run around and start knocking on all the truck doors and run. Wake them all up.
Where are you at, Nick?
I got spoiled when we were on the road, so I'm in a hotel. It's 100 degrees.
Hotel.
It's 100 degrees in Southern California, and I didn't feel like idling the truck. And I have about 20 hours between getting empty and getting reloaded, so I just decided 100-something bucks is worth the air conditioning and the shower and the getting out of the LA, Ontario truck stops, because those aren't fun.
You lightweight.
what are you doing, produce?
Nick, we should just call you Nick the lightweight.
Yeah,
You're gonna need to do some hotel reviews for us here.
I know. Huh? I'm gonna have to come up with a clever name for that. How do you say hotel in Spanish?
I can go to
hotel,
my phone and I'll look that up.
All right. Let's see.
Your
Jessica.
missus is in there.
Hello, Jessica. I told her. I told her that she could probably come back in later. Once she's done doing all her stuff in the afternoon, she can jump in the live too.
Okay. Evening, Justin.
There we go. All right, Diesel Live Trucker. Look at.
Oh, you got hotel too.
I do look a little lost. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to run the live. That's why I always like letting Matt do it. I just get to hang out and talk, and I don't have to think at all.
He's probably laughing his socks off as he's driving along in the truck watching us now.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Jessica.
I know.
Princess Velox. Oh, that's gonna be a whole new segment now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like that a little better. Nick's big time. Just like I said, Marriott points are gonna buy my APU.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I'm gonna put my hat on because the glare.
The Greetings of South Carolina.
So how's Oregon?
It's nice and cool.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. What was it, 60s?
60 degrees.
Yeah, we went and ripped the quads today, and I should not have been skipping leg day though, because my legs are killing me.
No, it's just everywhere I've been going all over this country, and everywhere I seem to go, it's just hot. I keep missing all the rain, but everywhere I go, just every night it's been in like the 80s and stuff like that, which is just awful.
Yeah.
Just melted.
There's about a 10-mile strip along the coast where it's nice and cold.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in about 2 weeks' time. I'm back down on the. I'm going down to Jacko Island for about 4 or 5 days down on the Georgia coast. I like it down there. See the shrimp boats. You see Forrest Gump go past and stuff. So.
What?
All right.
My
Yeah,
5-year-old, our 5-year-old.
Plays on Freeway said, might as well take the sleeper off. And that's exactly what Nomad Trucker told me when I talked to him. And I told him I was staying at the hotel.
So bad.
Yeah, you put more weight on. Brokers will love that.
Yeah.
Especially TQL.
Yeah, they'll add 4 pallets just for fun. They won't even tell you.
And cut your rate.
Yeah.
I was telling Matt the other day. I was in a pilot in Wisconsin, and I'd gone in there. It was what did they have here? A Wendy's, and I got like a little burger thing and stuff. Why are you going sideways? You got that freaks me
Why
out.
are you sideways?
I'm sorry. It's when I go out of the thing, but I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're froze.
He looks weird because he goes sideways and suddenly everything just freezes.
Yeah.
But no, it was funny. I went into a Wendy's to get something to eat and ordered it. Didn't give out a name, and they put me. There's about 4 or 5 of us there waiting for their stuff, and the guy comes out and shouts out, "Bill Murray." It's Bill Murray here. And we're all looking at each other, and it's like, he must be outside. And said, "Bill Murray?" He said, "No, it's because I had my Ghostbusters top on."
Oh.
And that's all he did. I've had this on like yesterday and today, and everybody keeps shouting out. I've walked across, and people just shout out, "Oi, Ghostbusters!" It's crazy.
You want to go? Okay.
Childish.
Oh.
It's childish. That was my
Yeah, I
thing
can't
of
wait
the
to get back to trucking and go hit up some Wendy's,
Technically, we've been doing trucking all the way up here.
I guess.
I wish you guys had a video about that. I want to see that.
Comment. I'll tell you what. I will never tow a trailer with a pickup again.
Really?
Yeah. It's like hills. We don't even slow down on hills. You just go right up and over.
That's just the control of the trailer. I don't know if you ever pulled an RV with a pickup, but man, it's not like pulling a semi-trailer. They're all over the place, especially when you hit some wind. And I have an F-350, so it's a big pickup. No comparison, man. No comparison.
And I'd like to say we're the only semi-truck here, but unfortunately we're not because somebody else brought their Volvo.
Well, I mean, it's a. Sorry, Justin. It is a Volvo.
You can imagine when they've got there, there'd just be a tow bar on the back of the truck because everything else disintegrates.
I filmed when Martin came into the campground, though, and you should see like the looks on people's faces as he's navigating through this campground. This big old Kenworth. Everybody's just like, "What?" That's pretty cool.
Wow. The kids liked it. It's all lit up. All the lights are on, and all the kids like it.
Yeah. So
Hey, Justin,
definitely
that's what we heard too, Justin.
Justin, you got that W900 now. There's no more Volvo in your life.
Baker likes cookies.
Yeah.
So
Wait, is Just Trucking making funny of how I say Volvo?
No, that's just what people call them.
Oh.
Volvo.
Oh. Okay. So when are you getting that truck on the road, Justin? When are you going to start pulling loads with that, Justin? Is he going to answer?
let's see.
I actually had a 780 with a D16. It was a D16 16-liter Volvo. It had power. That 16-liter has power, but the 13-liter Volvos, man, they're junk.
Volvo's really big in England. Volvos and predominantly Volvos, I suppose. Ford, because all our trucks in England are what you class as cab overs here.
Yeah.
Which is a pain in the bum when they do like maintenance on it, because if you've got all your stuff on there and they lift the cab up, everything's coming forward, like all your clothes and the whole 9 yards. It just sort of goes.
We had a cab over.
Huh?
I had a cab over Pete. Let's just say if you ever have a TV in the back and you forgot to tie it down and it's an old tube TV, you better make sure it's tied down or you're going to be replacing windshields.
I wouldn't let you have it.
No, I had a truck in England and I used that one day, took that to mechanics, and they had a new guy there start. And yeah, he didn't change anything. He just opened the back of went to work on the back, lifted up the cab. And I got there and all my stuff was across the windscreen and stuff like that because the cab's up in the air. So yeah, but this is a lot more practical. We got the engine on the front, so. But yeah, that's crazy.
Well, you get a little taste of the European engines because the DD15s is the Mercedes, and then you got the Volvos, and then you got the A26 is the MAN engine. And everything's European other than the Cummins.
Yeah, I mean, MAN is big, and like I used to do work for a boat manufacturer.
Nick keeps leaving and then comes back with these faces.
I know. He's like, he's doing it.
He's frozen again. Oh no, he wasn't.
It's like when you're Al Gore with Velox and you're huffing and puffing over that pizza. It reminds me of like Mario Brothers.
He's probably eating something there because he keeps on dives away for something to eat and comes back.
No, I'm staring at my phone trying to figure. I'm like trying to figure out how to do. I was doing that weird computerized voice thing. I couldn't get it to stop doing it, so I had to step out and come back in.
That's cool.
Scania power, that's right. Scania V8 power all the way. They should bring those here.
Oh, new APU, new chambers, then DOT inspection. Right, so we'll be seeing the big white Kenworth on the road shortly then.
Oh yeah.
Actually, Case International used to put the Scania V8s in their tractors. You could probably put some of that stuff in your Peterbilt, Nick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 14-liter V8.
Even Stuart's in here. He's a fellow Brit, but he would tell you, like in England, like he's saying about Scania, man, and stuff like that. Our trucking industry is so different than it is in this country.
Yeah.
Way different, and like you can't take.
Yeah, like way worse, right? Like everything else is. Yeah.
No.
They're a lot more regular.
No, it's very different. That was the first year. It was like when I came to this country. It was so different driving on the wrong side of the road and sitting on the wrong side of a vehicle.
The right side.
It's like patting your head and rubbing your stomach again. Like after all these years of driving.
I don't know how you guys can shift with your left hand. Well, I mean, they're all automatics now, but that's why I mean it's the wrong side of the truck, wrong side of the road.
I've done it before. There was a couple of times when I've been here. When I first came here, my wife is American, and I took her out one day, and she let me drive her car, and I started driving on the wrong side of the road, and I'm driving on the right. She starts screaming because I think I'm in England, and when I went shopping before Kroger, I remember coming out one day and then just walking up to the car, put the shopping in the boot, and I got in the car and I couldn't find a steering wheel because I'd gotten over that side. And then I'm looking around to make sure nobody's looking so I could just discreetly get out and walk around the car. Because I had jumped in there and it's like, where's the steering wheel stuff? Because I'm trying to look for like...
I'd probably do that every day for about 3 years if I moved to England.
Yeah, but it worked the same way. When I would go back to England, I'd have to remind the blokes that were working with me, which side are we on today? Because I'd have to just, you'd have that mental block. 1 minute you're driving that side, then that side, then... Yeah, it's crazy. But now, 6 years on, I've got used to driving on the wrong side of the road now. So
right.
That's the right side.
And your roads are, I mean, the roads are so much wider here. Like in England, our roads are a lot more narrower. So when I used to take the wife, when the wife came back to England a few times, we'd be going down like country roads, and she would be like, because you'd be like a couple of inches, and the car's coming towards you and stuff like that. Because our road structure is just so different. But
yeah, you guys are like speed limit at the 90 kilometers too, right?
Say it again.
90 kilometers an hour too, right? Speed limiters.
No, we're miles per hour. The Europeans are all kilometers an hour. We go by miles per hour.
Oh, do you?
Uh-huh.
Well, so 50 mile an hour or whatever, right? The rest of the European 90.
Because our speed limit top is, I think, is 70 in England. 70 miles an hour is our top speed. But most of the time it's sort of like in the 50s on B roads and stuff like that. It's the only fastest place I've been here is like Texas. Texas has got like 80 mile an hour roads out and by El Paso.
Nick, speaking of Texas, why is your truck governed?
I told them to take it off, and then when I got it, and I'll admit I did know it was governed in California a couple times, but
they're probably like,
yeah,
he's just starting out. Let's govern this thing for him so he gets the hang of it.
Yeah, I was like, they said they took it off, but they just took it to 75 instead of taking it all the way up. So
ours is set at 9.
At what?
Ours is set at 99.
Oh, at 99. Yeah, I've heard you can't do triple digits. That's what someone told me, that it has to be in the computer under a certain under 100.
That's what they told us.
No, I don't know about comments, but like Cat, when you open them wide open, it would cut speed 127. So all these guys would get excited that their truck's governed at 127, even though it would never do that. No matter what tells you or whatever they tell you, they'll never do 127.
Yeah.
But I think mine's governed. Excuse me, ours is governed at 99 because the way the ratios work, and it's the Cummins, and it wraps out at 2,000 RPM, so they figure it's 99 miles an hour. That's what they set it to.
Gotcha.
This runs at about 80, 85, 86. Because when I was with Schneiders as a company driver, these trucks out there are governed at 63. And I remember when I first got this, I was bobtailing back along by Savannah in Georgia one day, and I started driving this like I would drive a company truck. And then I realized when I'm looking at the speedo, it's like about 85 miles an hour. But that was so different because this isn't governed, but all the company guys, their trucks are governed.
Yeah.
But Mike Sewell, he said, how difficult was it to transfer your commercial vehicle license from England to over here? You can't transfer your license from England to here. You've got to retake in England, it's the HGV. But when I came here, I had to just redo the driving test again. First of all, I had to get the car license, which was weird. I had a 17-year-old girl was the instructor teaching me to drive again, which was literally go around the corner, a few turns back. Yep, you're okay. But then a CDL one, which is the equivalent to the HGV, I took that in Gainesville. But yeah, you cannot transfer your license. I don't know if you can transfer your license going back to England, but you certainly can't transfer your license coming here.
Hey, did you guys see this channel, Trucking Inspired? He did like a review of some of the trucking channels, and he actually reviewed my channel on there. Had some nice things to say about me, so I'm gonna put him up on the screen there. You guys go check him out. And I like people who say nice things about me. So Trucking Inspired gets a hard endorsement.
Nick the Diva.
There we go.
The concrete mixer drums turn What? The concrete mixer drums turn the wrong way in England. I have no idea. I've never sat there and watched them actually, so I have
I think that's south of the equator, right? Things turn backwards, like the water in a toilet. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know.
I mean, at that point, I mean, you're horizontal and you're spinning it, so it's whatever way it spins, right?
Something like that. Anyway, back at the ranch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Big dog.
Trucker.
Is your wife okay, or is she still in hospital?
Who are you talking to?
Big Dog. His wife has got COVID. She's in hospital at the moment.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, how is she, Big Dog? Stuart said, I had to redo my CDL test. It does not transfer.
Yeah, I had a friend from Australia, and he had to redo his also, so it definitely does not transfer for him either.
Yeah, I'm sure different countries it just doesn't apply.
So Plays on Freeway said they turn clockwise, but here they turn counterclockwise. So they just do it just to be different? That's weird. That's weird. Big Dog Kirk said she's still in the hospital, so we'll keep her in our prayers. Is she intubated, or do they have her on the respirator or anything? Or is it more precautionary? Because that's scary, man. That's scary.
She's been in for a few days now.
Yeah, it's not good. John Ferreira, how's it going? How's it going?
My daughter actually has COVID right now. My 22-year-old. She seems to be doing better though.
She's all right.
Yeah.
I think she kicked and got over it.
I think she got going to like one of those rave parties. I keep telling her they're no good. You don't listen.
I think that's the best thing you can get from a rave party is COVID.
Yeah, right? I agree.
Yes.
No, that's sad.
Can't do much worse, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good, big dog.
Yeah. That's good news. So are you trucking, or are you staying with her? Hopefully you're staying with her. There you go. Hooked on Trucking, so he's praying for you also.
Yeah, because I've come across a few people that have had that COVID, but I mean, it's sort of, you got that next wave coming through, this Delta one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Seems to be true.
Yeah, something like that.
Do we trade Matt for trucking together? Matt's still driving. So where is Matt driving to?
Houston.
Oh, he's down there still.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's down in Texas, Tejas. So he'll be joining in a little bit though. He said to get started, because Mark has to go to bed early. He's got probably, what time do you have to wake up this time?
I've been starting like between midnight and about 1 a.m, because that way then you can, like when I go for me, I'll start tomorrow morning a bit later. I'm gonna start about 1:30. But that way I can get through Cincinnati, because Cincinnati's got they got another bridge problem. These bridges are falling down everywhere. But you try getting through Cincinnati and you can just lose your I would say lose my ass, but there's a young lady in here. But you would just like lose your clock going through there. So but with a tanker, you know as well as that, when you used to drive tanker, you just don't want people in your way because of that stuff moving around and things like that. You just want everybody to get out of the way. And I've got to go from here back down to Alabama, near where you were, because were you at Birmingham? No, you went down near Mobile, didn't you?
I was in Opelika.
Oh yeah, that's on 85. Yeah, no, I'm going to be going a little ways down from there. Then where do I go from there? I'm staying south then, because I want to stay down there for the next couple of weeks, because I've got to go because I say I'm going away for 4 or 5 days. So I'm going to stay south. What are some of the trucking things truckers say in England over the radio that differ from us? I have no idea. They speak like in English. Well, they speak like British. I think that's about the only difference. There's some real crackpots. You get some real crackpots here on the radio.
My experience is that.
Mm-hmm. Go on, man.
My experience with the British truckers is they're on a whole different level of cursing than we are.
Yeah, they can swear a lot more than even like an Irish washerwoman. They get pretty carried away with it. Here, you're very diplomatic to a point, but sometimes I say you can hear some weirdos on the radio, and you think, oh, they say some weird stuff. So sometimes it's funny because Matt's done a video a couple of times, and he's had his radio on. He's doing a film, and then suddenly you get these like really weird blokes on there talking and stuff like that, and it's always funny because he gets embarrassed. It's what they say. But yeah, we get pretty carried away once we get swearing and going, the British. So it's like, hold your tongue. Nothing but, oh, that's the young lady from
Haggai Diesel.
That's the one.
Haggai Diesel house.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Okay. At what Peterbilt dealership did I order my truck? Interstate Truck Center in Stockton.
You got your truck pretty quick, didn't you?
Well, I got in before the big rush. Everyone was still worried about COVID and whether or not the whole market was going to crash and everything. So everyone canceled orders. All the mega fleets. You should have seen Northern Refrigerated. They had like 30 trucks at the dealership in Turlock, and they weren't taking delivery of them. They were just letting them sit on the lot. But they're specced out with like their color fenders, like everything exactly how they do them. But they weren't actually like taking delivery of them. And so a lot of big fleets, I guess, did that. They canceled orders, or they were letting the inventory just sit on the lot. So when I got in to get mine in November, it was like November. It was like the middle of November, I want to say. And then I got build date of January 4th. So it was like barely 2 months, month and a half.
Wow.
So yeah, it was like 6 weeks out. And now it's like, I don't even know, like a year out, I think. I think Peterbilt just said they're done taking orders for this model year. So
yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
The guy we used to work for, he ordered 10 579s, the next gens, and they were supposed to be here in November. Then they pushed them to January. Now they pushed them to March.
Wow. See, Schneider normally buys a lot of trucks because they were supposed to be having there's like 5,000 trucks coming over the next 12 months, but they've cancelled a lot of them. They put like a lot of freezing on new trucks coming in and stuff. So, which obviously has a big impact to people like Freightliner and stuff because it's such a huge purchase. And I hear so many more truck drivers now saying that they still think we're going to go into a second lockdown, which that would be weird.
I just
weird, but at least I will be quiet.
So
imagine lockdown, because like right now you barely get anybody showing up for work as it is.
Yeah.
It'd be like, I think it would absolutely cripple everything if there's another lockdown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because all of the moratorium's stopped now, isn't it? Where like all the people behind on rent and mortgages and stuff now, they can go after them. Plus, unemployment stuff all stops everywhere, I think, in the next few weeks. So it's going to get messy. It's going to get very, very messy.
Hey, before you guys answer Big Dog Trucker's question, let's welcome Larry from BT Trucking in the house. What's up?
Hello, sir.
What's going on? I know mostly. How are you guys?
I'm not too bad. I'm sat in Pennsylvania.
Reception.
Oh yeah, your reception's a little spotty.
Oh yeah, because you're probably
it's
you're
probably
sat in
mine.
a hotel.
How's the ugly duck running?
We're good. We're typical issues. I'm waiting for. I got my audit for my my new authority. I got the audit, so kind of staying close to home right now. And then so I figured I'll do an Amazon load. It's an Amazon load through the DAP board. Ended up doing it, picked up, and then I get to Amazon to deliver from the outside carrier, and they don't want the product. They're telling me that this product was due on 7/29, so they canceled the product. We don't even want it. And I'm like, okay, so now I got a truck full of stuff, and I'm just sitting here waiting now. So
Wow.
we figured out, part of trucking, right?
Yeah.
Fun.
And
Big
now.
Dog.
Oh, sorry.
It's kind of like those work meetings, right? That everybody does, where you have all the people. It's kind of crazy.
Go
Big
ahead.
Dog coworkers asking us if we've already been on vacation. We're on vacation right now. We're at the Oregon Dunes.
We're on vacation every day. It's trucking. I mean, it's like paradise.
Yeah, hey, you guys, that's a neat idea with that travel trailer, man. And I tell you what, I never even thought about that. I got my travel trailer, and I can't even imagine how nice it is.
That pool is amazing. It's a totally different game. But no, Big Dog, we're on vacation right now. We actually got here yesterday, and we're going to be here through Wednesday of next week, and then we're going to head back.
This work the week after.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing, you guys. I never even would have thought of that. I mean, that's just that's really cool, Martin. You guys that you even thought about that. That's pretty amazing in itself.
We're living in a era of life where everything's on back order and we can't get parts. My pickup's been down since May, so I didn't want to disappoint the kids and the wife here, so wired some wires up and put the hitch on, did some cutting on the truck, did some welding on the hitch, and sent it.
Just gotta send that.
No, see, Big Dog is saying as well. He thinks as well we'll have another lockdown. I hear that from because you got that mandatory face masks and everything all coming back in now.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that today as I was checking into the hotel without a face mask on, and everyone else was wearing face masks. And I was like, "Oh, this is happening again."
Yeah, it's already. I seen it in Nevada. We went when I was in Reno just on Friday. I walked in and they said, "Yeah, hey, city mandate in Reno is you got to have a face mask."
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, the other day before we left, I went into Walmart to get a prescription for my daughter, and where we live, it's very rural, so most people don't wear their masks. But like, I want to say at least half people in Walmart had theirs on again. So it's a little scary, and I don't know what to think on it all. I do know that I'm a little nervous though. Like I said, if things lock down, because we're getting ready to go trucking, and I didn't truck in the last pandemic, and I don't know what to expect if they lock things down. So I'm nervous about that.
See, we're trucking on this though. That I think it never affected us on Schneider in any way or form because it was chemicals. We just get into so many different things, but it never had any effect. I mean, it was great because when you went on the roads, it was like no cars. But,
I experienced that as well until, I don't know, there was a certain point where the refineries couldn't refine any more fuel, and they didn't have enough storage, and so then everything slowed down. And that's when I was like, oh, but it was like a year delayed from everyone else. Everyone else was freaking out, and I was like busy and making money and busy and making money. And then right when everyone else was getting back to work, it seemed like, and everyone was getting back to normal, I was like, oh shoot, what's going on? I'm trying to get my new truck, get out on the 40 and do all this stuff, and there was no work. Shoot. So anyway, great Stage Magic is in the house. What's up, Eric?
Evening, Eric.
I don't think our will be affected by it, but like I said, I'm just more worried about like fuel shortages or going in a truck stop and not be able to feed yourself.
Well, that's why I bought a fuel efficient truck.
It's so fuel efficient too.
Yeah. That was the only thing I know. That was the only thing that happened with the truck stops. Is obviously the drivers' lounges were shut. But I never used those anyway. But all the restaurants were shut. But there was never.
They're still shut down
like that. Mm.
Yeah, I don't even go to truck stops. I just stay in hotels.
I know. Yeah, because you're a big girly. You can't handle staying in the bloody truck, man. Pull yourself together.
I'm allergic to my sleeper.
Yeah. Velox 18, the lightweight. Yeah, I know. All right.
He's gonna end up getting a APU, and then he'll be all right.
Yeah, I should have ordered it with it. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't. I knew I was gonna need one.
I got Amazon call, so I'll be right back.
All right. Let's see.
I wonder if it's
Telegrams. Mike Sewell, Big Dog Trucker 68. It's getting bad here in Kentucky as well. My county's just gone into the red again. That's what I said. A lot of these states are just suddenly really accelerating.
Yeah.
It's just not sustainable, the economy. Stuart says not. Why, Stuart? Nick's going to bet you $50 that we go into a lockdown.
No.
It's one for you, Nick.
The way the used truck market is right now, in your opinion, what do you recommend would be better looking into used 389? That's around 150. I'll let Martin answer this. He bought a truck, a used truck, more recently, and knows more about trucks than I do. What do you think, Martin?
Our internet's kind of crappy, but I probably wouldn't buy a $150,000 used truck right now. I'd hold off and even rent one if you had to, but I wouldn't buy a used truck. Used truck prices are crazy right now, and I think they'll go back down eventually when the supply goes back up. But I wouldn't buy. You know, some of these guys are out there asking $150,000 for a 389 or a W900 with 350,000 miles on it. And here's the thing: it's like if you're going to hold on to this truck 4 or 5 years because it's going to take you that on a regular payment schedule to pay it off, you won't pay that off before the engine goes, and it's going to be hard, you know, to save up any kind of money. You're still going to be paying a payment on that truck, and it's going to be worn out. So if you're going to buy new, or wait till the market goes down, or buy a Freightliner Cascadia for 50 grand and make money with it and save up money and then buy what you want. That's honestly what I would do. You know, it doesn't matter what you're driving as long as you're making money to begin with.
You've only paid what?
So we paid $23,000 for our W900. It was kind of a diamond in the rough. That I found it on the lot.
Wow.
The lot wanted a lot more money for the truck, but I did some detective work. I found the inspection sticker of the owner of the truck, and I called him up, and he says, "This is what I want for it." And we settled on $23,000, and I didn't even argue with him. I just paid him the money, and we brought it home. But the truck does have 1 million miles. Now I did my homework on it. It has no blow by. Has great oil pressure, so I'm just gonna roll it. And if it throws a hole out the side of the block, I'll either sling a new motor in it, or if it doesn't, I'll overhaul it, and we'll probably keep driving it. But it's cheap in the long run because I know what I got. You know, I got a history with the truck. I'm comfortable with the truck, and that's what matters to me. You know. Sorry, our kids are being a little bit.
They're being kids.
Right?
I think they're allowed. You're allowed to have kids that act like kids. That's okay.
Yeah.
See, this truck, I bought this truck brand new. This is a 2016 Cascadia, purely because it's ideal for the tanker jobs because of length, height, turning ability, and stuff like that. I paid this off last year though, but I've put like 915,000 miles on this now, but there's still no oil burn and no bypass or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't want to get another truck yet because I want to see where we're all going to, because it's to sign the dotted line to something is too much at the moment. You know, I just have no idea where we're going to.
I say buy an older truck if you can run an older truck. If you don't have to deal with emissions like us and Nick do, because we live in the great state of emissions. Buy a truck that has some sort of a history on it. If you're not comfortable with it, take it to a mechanic, have them look it over, someone you trust. Put it on a dyno, see if it has blow by, you know. But realistically speaking, if it's cheap enough and you can buy it for cash and you can get a solid 2 months out of it before anything major breaks, you could probably be ahead.
And I think that would be my recommendation too, Joel, is if you can go brand new, but with the wait times that there are now, I don't know if that's even feasible. But yeah, I mean, the used truck, just get something that makes you money. I mean, that I did that with my first truck, and it was it snowballed into me getting a new truck, so it just kind of worked out. But
well, there's certain trucks and certain engines you should stay away from. And Nick, that Caterpillar with that DPF wasn't necessarily the best thing. Cat and DPF just didn't go well together. Those engines always had problems. Unless you did a little weight loss surgery on the truck, then they were all right. But with the emission system intact, the SDP, which was a C15, you had a C13, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar. The actual design of the emission system was pretty good, but it obviously never worked right.
Yeah, I bought that from my brother, so it was halfway to like help him because he wanted to get out of it and get something newer, and it was halfway so that I could get my foot in the door because the carrier was going to make me wait a little bit longer before I could buy a truck. But by buying his truck, I kind of jumped myself to the front of the line to get, to become an owner operator, a lease operator. So I did it, and now I don't regret it, but there was a few moments where I did regret it.
No, I mean, I've been lucky with this. I just spent out and had to have the one box system replaced, so that was like 14 grand.
That's crazy.
Because I mean, the DEF system on these trucks is just and Schneider you can't bring on. It's got all the trucks are DEF.
See,
they won't take on non-emission trucks.
If I had a Freightliner and I had to replace one box, I would just make it fall off because it's too expensive to replace them. That's crazy. I guess there's aftermarket solutions to them now, and they're around 5,000 to 7,000 from what I hear, but that's still a lot of money for a couple of filters. It's crazy.
Yeah, I had to have that replaced. Then a few weeks later, I had the 2 filters replaced because they were gone past their sell-by date, basically. Okay. But that's the only big sort of payments I've done. I see like that gentleman was saying about warranty, but warranty, it's all well and good if something goes wrong. But I had 2 warranties on this truck. One was a steering rack that took 11 days to get done, and the other one was an EGR cooler, and that was off the road for 9 days as well, because they make you wait and like they're doing you a favor. I mean, I call them the Steelers. It's not a dealership, it's a Stealership. And I just don't use dealers now anyway. I just use a local mechanic where I am down in Georgia, but I refuse to use dealers. George Sato, I just paid $187,000 for a 389. So 150 for a used one is a little bit too much to me. Wow. Yeah, see,
it's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a used truck. $150,000 is a lot of money for a used truck. No matter what you're buying, used is used. I mean, you're almost there with used trucks.
Was that you're drinking, Nick?
A little Coca-Cola.
You sure? He's knocking it back a bit quick.
I should be like diabetic and 400 pounds because I drink a ton of soda. It's like a vice. I drink about 2 liters a day. I figured it out, and I was like, I'm drinking about 2.5 liters a day of soda, and no water. I don't drink water. I just drink soda.
That's that guy right there.
But see, I drink the 0 sugar. It's okay.
I started switching over to that, but once me and Miles went on our trip, and I just started eating everything in sight, then I started getting the regular soda again too.
You know how he justifies it? He's all, well, the soda has water in it.
It does. I mean, as long as you're still, sweating and urinating, then your body has, it's getting
right
hydration.
That's crazy. Crazy.
I can't do the sugar though. It messes me up too much, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go. Daniel Yoder said that's why I live in Missouri. Is that Missouri, Mo?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
A lot less BS.
Yeah, I like Missouri and stuff like that. There's a lot of nice states in this country. Some of the other states are a little bit. See, I've never been to like California. I've heard it's a nightmare for like all the traffic and stuff like that. So I've never been to California. I've never been to Washington State. I think it's cracky. That must be about the only 2 I haven't. I've been to the Dakota. Yeah, I've been everywhere else, but I just haven't been to those 2, and I don't want to go there. Because
California, you're not missing anything at all. I'll tell you that, 100%. Washington State, go there. You're missing out. It's a beautiful place.
I can't.
Yeah, I've seen odd loads going that way, but
And the
I've just sort of
drivers.
stayed down here. Oh, yeah, hit the like button. Thank you, Sarah. Sage. Yeah, maybe I'll go there one day. But so how long are you staying in California then before you're coming out to move?
2022. So
End or beginning?
So the end. So I have to run the mileage on the truck, and all that stuff. 10% of my miles, or 90% of my miles will be in California until the end of 2022. But we want to start our kids in school, in the fall of 2022. So we're going to move that summer, and then I think I'm going to either come back and run California for a little while and then go back home. Or maybe I'll buy a second truck. I don't know. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to do it. But I just talked to a friend of mine, and he said that they have cheese loads going from the panhandle of Texas out to Tennessee. And they can't get enough trucks to run that lane because it's just not, there's not a lot of stuff going into the panhandle. So people don't want to go all the way over there to get it. It's kind of like, it's a pass-through area. People are already loaded when they're going through there. No one's like going there to get a load. So,
Right.
so anyway, so he's saying that that's something I could maybe look into doing. So I don't know. So once we get out of California for good, and I don't have to do all these miles restrictions and all that, then I might be trying to find some regular work like that. But yeah, 2023 will be my official. I'm free. I can do whatever I want in California or outside of California, and they have no hold on me.
Because that whole state is just separate from the rest of this country, isn't it? The way it just sets its rules and does everything. It's just so independent from the rest of America. It's what it seems to be like,
Yeah. It's kind of like the
it is for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of the birthplace of kind of political arrogance. They really think they know better than everyone else everywhere. So, yay, California.
This one's for you about El Gordo.
Yeah, I just got back from Nessie Burger, thinking about El Gordo Velox. Hey, if you guys want to send in videos of you guys, grading cheeseburgers, I'll put them in my videos. Wandering Pete put out a video for the first time in months. I don't know if you guys watch that channel, but Wandering Pete, he lives out in Texas, and he's got a fleet of 5 trucks, and 3 or 4 of them are 389s, brand new. They're all within like under 300,000 miles. Like he just bought one, then bought another one, then bought another one, all brand new off the lot. And anyway, so he's got a really rad channel, and his channel actually really started accelerating, and then he just like disappeared for a while. Well, my Whataburger review, I think, brought him out of because he had to come out and defend Whataburger in his last video. So anyway, funny. The whole Whataburger thing is weird.
You change it. That's what I found, because like when he did his thing on the ice creams, I felt like suddenly I had to just dive into a Loves and buy an ice cream and stuff. It's this psychic thing.
I'll make a burger video for El Gordo Velox.
Oh yeah, I'm down. My wife, that's one of her favorite things, is just a homemade cheeseburger. Homemade cheeseburger, mayonnaise, mustard, pickles. That's it.
Wow. Yeah, I don't go to too many burger places. I tried to, like I said, when I'm out and about, I generally keep a lot of food in this truck anyway. I don't go to too many of those places because some of that stuff is just looks nasty.
What's up, Gus? Gussie Bear, dude. I love you, dude.
Evening, Gus. How you doing?
The Gussinator. It's funny. I started making videos so that he would, really enjoy them and watch them, but he doesn't really watch them like at all. He really doesn't like them. But then every once in a while, Jessica will be like, "Oh yeah, he was sitting and watching with me," or he like this. That's my dad. It's like he never says that when I'm around. He just ignores it.
Dog. The dog went out.
Meeks, he wants the fantasy sleepers for this year. Hey, I got to be honest, Meeks. This year I'm out of it because I've been focusing on starting my authority, running the truck, trying to learn all these freight lanes and figure out what I'm doing. I had to plan me and Miles going on that cross country trip and make sure I had all my IFTA and my apportion plates. And so I've been kind of, my head's been in trucking a lot more than previous years. When I was local and I was just running the same route every single day, I had a lot of time on my hands to think about, fantasy football. But this year I'm not as not as up on it. Not as up on it. Let's see. Daniel Yoder said the only reason I would go to California is to see the scenery in Northern California. Yeah, it's I mean, if you went from like LA to, I don't know, Sequoia National Park, you'd think you were in like two different countries. Like they're just so vastly different. And then if you went up to like up by Shasta, up in like Hayfork and that whole area up there, Eureka, you'd be like, you're in a whole other country. It's all different. California is weird.
Do you think you will miss it though once you leave California?
Yeah, I already, because I live inland from the ocean, I already miss the ocean. Like I grew up within like 10, 15 minutes of the beach my entire life. Like that's just where, like, we didn't ever have to pay money to do anything. We just go to the beach and go walk around and go jump in the waves. And it's like we didn't have to go to a pool. If you were bored, you just go down and walk along the beach. Like it was just, I don't know. It was just always something to do, especially when we were poor. We had like we didn't have two pennies to rub together, and it's like, well, we can walk down to the beach. Let's do that. So I find myself missing it even now, just where we live, inland. So I know I'm going to miss it. And then, of course, depending on where my family ends up, because they've all talked about maybe moving out of state at some point. But if they all are still here, that's going to be a big draw to come back very often. My parents, my brothers, my wife's sister was still in California, though her brother and her dad are out in Tennessee. So, yeah. But we'll definitely miss it.
Tennessee is very picturesque. If you come in from like Chattanooga and stuff like that, Tennessee it's just a very picturesque place. The whole of that Tennessee.
It is. Oh, that was loud.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's the GoPro.
Oh, I was like, what was that beep? Was there something going on?
That was you guys the whole time.
My bad. I didn't know Martin said it there.
That was my fault.
It is.
No, I mean it's the same as like England. I need to go back to England at some stage because I haven't been back to England for like 6 years, and that's where I say all my family. I don't have a very big family anyway, but I've just got my mother and two brothers. So I've just, most of the family is gone. My mum brought me up because my dad died in an accident when I was 1 year old. So, but I'd like to go back there sooner or later. Once this COVID thing has stopped and we can go on and we can transport properly and stuff, but I just don't think that's going to be for a while. So it is what it is. So Nick, that's another one for you, Nick.
Yeah. So Daniel, it's because I did a trade-in program with my old truck. Otherwise, I'd be free to move. It's just that I signed up for a program. They gave me money to put down on the new truck, but the agreement was that I'm going to do most of my miles in California so that they get the clean air benefits of the truck running in California. That's all it is. So it's not like they're trying to do anything. Like I totally agreed to it when I signed up. When I signed up for it, though, I wasn't necessarily planning to move out of state. So it was kind of like afterwards, I was like, yeah, kind of. Well, too late now. Oh well. merch dropping soon. It's possible. I might start with hats because it seems like everyone wants a hat. But yeah, I don't know. I really want to get to the point where I can do a drop ship type thing where I don't have to be involved almost at all, where I just upload my designs, you guys order it, they make it and they ship it, and then they just give me some of the money. That's kind of the ideal situation for me. That means I don't have to do a dang thing, and and I get a little bit of money out of it. So that would be cool.
That's what Just Trucking does.
Yeah, it's a drop ship. Yeah,
Caskia do it, whatever.
yeah. So if I could get set up with something like that, and there's a lot of different companies that do dropship, type setups. So let's see. Big Dog Trucker said he's still waiting for the internet burger in the mail from my wife.
Yeah,
I don't know if it'll keep.
What is this bloke doing?
Water still.
Well, lazy sod. Did you see that?
Yeah. What was it?
A bag of rubbish, but he can't be bothered to walk, so he's just stuck it on the bonnet of his car and he's driven down there over to the bin. Oh, lazy sod. That's crazy.
That's why we're beats.
Sorry, guys, I had to deal with receiver.
Hopefully, Larry, you can get that stuff out of your trailer. Because it's one thing when you're running power only, you could just go drop that trailer loaded at somewhere else, go take it back and drop it and then get it, go on down the road. But now that you got a trailer, you can't just drop it. There you go. NorCal is a completely different country from anything south of I-80. Yeah, it is. That whole area, the state of Jefferson up there, it's a trip.
Yeah, you think it gets cooler up north, but it doesn't.
Yeah, all of California's hot right now.
Redding's probably like 127.
Probably.
I know we're gonna do that Red Bluff truck show, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be another stinking hot truck show. We need to plan these things in like the springtime or the fall so that we're not just burning up the whole time.
Man, wintertime and spring and fall, it's nice up there, but the summers are brutal.
There you go. NorCal truckers driving through Redding right now. So what's the temperature, NorCal?
I just told you, it's 127.
Is it for real?
No, it probably feels like it though.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, NorCal is like a different state of California. I've spent a lot of time in Eureka, Redding, Bernie, Mount Shasta. Yeah.
All sorts of sounds.
I knew going live tonight would be a bad idea.
Hey Nick, you can set up a merch store in your many hotel rooms.
I could. Let's see. Oh, we're under 100 in Redding. Vegas guy says.
Oh man, that's cold.
Yeah, freezing. All right, Justin. Have a good night. Or if you come back, you know me. I'm usually long on these things. I'm waiting for Matt to jump in, but he's not here yet. I keep thinking like, oh, what if I left him in the little waiting room, forever, and then he jumped back off. I don't pay attention well enough.
You'd probably be screaming.
All of a sudden, I'm getting phone calls. Okay, so trucking together. How are you guys gonna do the channel on your new setup? What's it gonna look like?
So you cut out. I think you're asking how we're going to do the channel with our new route that we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I don't. it's going to take some creative thinking because we're going to be doing the same route. And the only good thing is, I guess, in the winter, we're going to be going through Wyoming and Colorado. So that'll create some content on its own.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
So how does the route?
I mean,
how does the
it's
route
no
go?
different than
Is
you
it one trip a week?
The what?
Sorry, I said, is it one trip a week you guys do, or how quickly can you make that turn on with a team?
It's going to be 2 trips, so it's 24 hours each way to Denver and back.
Gotcha.
So the way they have the schedule right now, it's I'm not a fan because I'm still on FedEx time, so I feel like runs like that should be like a 4-day-a-week run, and then you get 3 days off. Right now, the way they have it scheduled is we go out on Tuesday evening, but they don't have us getting back until Monday morning. And so I see a lot of wasted time just kind of chilling. Like they have where we'll hang out in Denver overnight twice a week and then spend a day in the Bay Area waiting for a trailer to get loaded. So we're trying to work with them to condense that because honestly, I don't know if I can hang if I have to work a schedule like that. I've been spoiled.
I'll figure it out.
Well,
it's all going to get figured.
Of team driving, right? I mean, team driving, you eliminate the layovers and the in and out. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to. I think there's a learning curve with it. So when we start, obviously there's going to be a learning curve of what we're doing, and we got to get to know the people. And I'm sure we can condense the schedule because I don't want to sit either. I don't want to sit any more than she does. I'd rather sit at home if I have to sit somewhere in Denver, but I think we'll figure that part out.
And we've already dealt with both locations when we're with that other carrier. So the guys in Denver are super cool. The guys in Sacramento, they're really excited to have a team that's available to work for them because, you know, this year it's been weird and nobody can get people that want to drive. So I'm hoping that they're excited enough about that they'll condense it for us because I'd really like to have those 3 days at home a week.
You gotta make sure all the proper people you know.
Right? I mean, she took the words right out of my mouth.
No, big dog is stick together, trucks together, make sure you're Nick, you're making it go small and big and stuff. What are you doing, young man? I'm squinting like a Chinese person like that.
I think we're all getting old. You have to squint.
I can't bloody see.
You're allowed to say that, Mark.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to let everyone know we have a YouTube channel or not. I'm a little cautious on that. It's backfired in the past, but
I'll tell you, I honestly don't care because there's enough work out there that if these people don't like it, we'll just go somewhere else. But
that works too.
For me, the whole YouTube thing, she wanted to do it. I knew we were going to get caught eventually at our other job, but I honestly didn't care. I did it for 5 years. I was so damn miserable doing it. I wanted out, and this was my way out. Her idea of doing YouTube was my way out of that job. I hated it. I hated the job. Miserable. I'll tell you what.
I didn't think we'd get caught our first week, though.
Yeah. No offense to anybody, but when I got into that truck and I started driving it, it rekindled my love for it again. I was out of it. I mean, and here's the thing. I drove trucks. In those 5 years that I wasn't supposed to be driving, I still drove. I drove plenty. I mean, there wasn't a month where I didn't drive trucks, but I drove automatic Cascadias. I like my manual transmissions. Nothing against automatic trucks. You know, they all serve their purpose. Whatever floats your boat, but that's not my thing. I like my long hooded truck. I like my manual transmission. I like my turbo whistle. I like my Cummins. I wanted a truck. And when I got in that truck, it was like, you know, it rekindled my lost love for trucking. And I was like, I'm done with it. I'm done with the other job. I didn't want to do it anymore.
And we both met because of trucking. So it's only like, you know, it's perfect that we kind of reunited with the thing that brought us together.
Here's a short story of it all. middle management, you're treated like crap because you're not a boss. You're supposed to be a boss, but you're not. You basically have to bow down to everybody, and I was tired of that.
I actually acted like a boss and nobody liked me, so I don't know if I recommend that line of being.
Nobody likes her.
I actually I've had a former employee's wife come and heckle me on the YouTube channel, and it's like, you're crazy. She's crazy. I'm sane.
I had one time. There was one place I went to in it was a paper mill, West Rock in North Carolina, and my camera, which is on the screen here, it actually caught their name as I came through the gate. So I didn't think anything of it, and I eventually put that video up and stuff like that to show what we were doing, and somebody recognized the name where it was, and they reported it to the management of West Rock. West Rock got onto Schneider and told Schneider to take down that video because I'm not having it, purely because I caught the name West Rock. But
wow,
you get people just get really crazy about it. It wasn't doing anything, doing any harm. But I got asked to take it down, but I just adjusted a few things and put it back up about a month later, and nobody's realised. So, I probably just shot myself in the foot now, though. But
yes.
But I don't know. No.
Yeah, it's Nick, you don't know how lucky you are to have your own authority. You don't have anyone like watching out for you out here on the YouTube land, looking to
Yeah,
get you.
I keep waiting for like a broker to say something, and I actually got a call from a broker, and they were like, "Hey, we saw you on YouTube," and I was like, "Oh crap, here it comes!" And she was like, "And we loved it. We love your positivity. We'd love to work with you again. If you want to work with us on something dedicated, we'd love to do that." I was like, "All right, cool." So, of course, nothing ever materialized with that. Otherwise, I would have, dedicated freight right now. But yeah, I thought I was going to get caught, but
yeah, it's just amazing how people just take such an offence when it's harmless. A lot of the stuff you film is harmless, It's not as my one is that, like when I go into refineries, a lot of refineries won't allow me to film inside because they think you're giving up secrets and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, if you drive down for a refinery, it's just masses of metal pipes everywhere. As if you're really going to know what on earth you're looking at. But yeah, they take offense.
Yeah, they told me, at least the people I talked to, which they weren't like the actual safety people, but they were. I just said, "Hey, what if I record something here? Would anyone freak out?" I just asked one of the operators. I'm like, "Oh man, they would totally freak out because like people can find out like where it's vulnerable and how they could like infiltrate it and how they could blow up the fuel production in America." And I'm like, "All right, so
that'd be a no then."
Yeah, I'll steer clear of that. But yeah.
Vic Metz.
I definitely worry, like if I'm inside of like a building filming, because I don't want them to come out and get mad at me. Actually, I was filming in one of our videos at the Blue Beacon, and they came out freaking out because I was filming, and apparently a lot of miners work at Blue Beacon. So now, like, I'm even scared to like film my truck or our truck getting washed because of that one time. So it's just a lot of people are like, they're kind of weird about when you bust out your camera and you're sitting there filming. They getting some used to. So
a few minutes.
I see.
When you get finished.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I the thumbnail I used for yesterday with that other 389, which is actually it's not 389, it's a 379 because it's a 1997. And I was like, there's no way that truck's that old. He said, yeah, it's a 97. And anyway, I just went up and talked to him and said, hey man, I have a YouTube channel. Do you mind if I take a picture and use it on my YouTube channel? Just because I didn't want, I don't know. I totally wouldn't care if someone did that. Just took a picture of my truck and used it in some way, like whatever. But I've heard of guys taking offense to people using pictures of their trucks. So I went and introduced myself and asked him. He was cool about it. He was like, yeah, dude, go ahead. What's your channel name? I'll check it out. So anyway, yeah.
There you go.
You want to talk about what Vic Med said here?
Yes, I
No, I was just saying.
Yeah.
I've watched a few of his videos. He seems a very knowledgeable chap.
Yep. Down here in Southern California.
Right. Just watching a couple. Good. He's following trucking together.
So Vic, we weren't leased to SIVA. We were leased to a company that contracted with SIVA, and that's why it didn't work out.
And actually, the SIVA part of it was amazing. Like everything worked perfect there. Other than our first load, we had a little bit of communication issue, I guess, where the load wasn't ready when we were told it was supposed to be ready. So that was a little annoying because, first load, you're raring to go. And but other than that, every terminal we went to was smooth sailing, and the people were very friendly and great.
The work is super easy, and it's all drop and hook. Just the people we were working for, which wasn't SIVA, were the. I guess I'm not going to say the word, but you know what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know why. I've had a couple people comment on our channel about SIVA, and I'd be interested in hearing why. People don't like them because I didn't experience that myself, just from us with our dealings with them.
It's probably like any large carrier. People have their reasons about them, and people don't like their ways of doing stuff. So,
and I know a lot with SIVA too. It's their fleet. It's much like FedEx Ground, where they use independent contractors for their fleet. So a lot of people, you might go work for SIVA, but you're not technically working for SIVA. You might be driving for an independent contractor. Oh, that's sketchy. There's a guy.
I'm watching a guy unload his quad off like the top of a pickup truck, like literally way up there.
Yeah,
it looks sketchy.
That looks sketchy. But so I'm just curious if maybe some people didn't like SIVA because maybe they worked for a contractor that was SIVA. Or maybe if you were an owner operator, you actually worked directly with SIVA and you didn't like it. I'd love to hear about it because our dealings with SIVA, they were always very, very friendly people and seemed to be very upfront with us.
Well, they did what they said they were going to do. So, I mean, I'll tell you right now.
No, I get that.
We actually went leased to them, so that's what we started.
No, I'm just saying. I get
that.
We're
actually starting there.
Schneider is a big company, but a lot of people complain about Schneider, but I get on fine with them, and they leave me alone, and I do well out of it.
They're making it work.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I mean, we were at FedEx for 5 years, and we weren't contractors, but we basically had to do all the work that contractors have to do for the guy. And people complain about FedEx all the time. I mean, you just got to deal with the BS of a large carrier. They have their rules, and you just have to play with, by their rules.
Right.
But so far, like I said, we're leased on with them. We went to SIVA directly, and that's where we have the dedicated route. And so far, everything they said they were going to do, they did. And I mean, they have this incentive, right? And we haven't even turned a single mile for them yet. They already gave us this incentive. I was like, is that right? I mean, are we supposed to get paid? And they already gave us this incentive. So that's crazy.
We haven't even pulled load yet, and they paid us. So I really like the contract is very clean cut. It just so far the whole process, how they said it would go down, so far it has been going that way. So right now the only concern I have is just
they're frozen. No, they froze.
Oh, I thought maybe it was me.
No. No, they're just completely frozen solid.
Here, well, look at this one. While they're thawing out. I think Matt forgot you guys were going live today. Yeah, I think he might have. Might have. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still driving somewhere. So, hold on, what is the timing?
It is.
Oh, he's down in Central.
8:45.
So he's Central, so he's at 7:45 then.
Yeah. I'm over here trying to do the math for you, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, thanks. Dementia kicked in. I just can't.
Luis Pino said, do you feel there is too much bragging about what loads are paying? Every owner operator with a YouTube channel is competing with how much one made that week or rate per mile. Today's rates are a godsend. I think some guys are bragging, but for the most part, I think it's really what people want to know, because they're looking at whether or not they want to get into truck driving. They're looking for a career change. They're looking at maybe going from company driver to owner operator, or trying to decide if they want to lease on, like what Mark does. And they're trying to make a decision, and they, sometimes you just don't know if something's going to be right for you or good for you. And so that's why I share the money, because let's see, did they come back?
I don't know. It's going around.
But anyway, so yeah, like I think that some guys are kind of about like trying to boast about their numbers. And right now there's numbers to boast about for sure.
Right.
But I also think that there's like a majority of the people that I follow anyway, they're sharing the numbers to share, what you can do in trucking. And, I've had some bad weeks and I shared the numbers. So it wasn't about bragging. It's about letting people know, what it is in trucking, because, I've had the blessing of having a father-in-law who was a lease owner operator hauling hazmat chemicals tankers. And so I got to kind of see firsthand what he was doing and how he was there we go. Just get rid of them. So anyway, I got to see firsthand like how he was able to provide for his family and do all that. And so I've always said that the reason why I like to do numbers on my channel is because not everyone has a firsthand look to see, how someone can provide for their family through trucking. So if they're thinking about getting into the industry, if they're thinking about changing careers, I've had people tell me that they're pilots and they want to become truck drivers. I've had people tell me that they were in education and they want to become truck drivers. And so they're going on YouTube and they're trying to find out, like, hey, what do these guys make? How do these guys make a living? Is it possible to make a living? You guys are back.
Yeah,
We're back.
Internet crash.
Yeah, we're using the free Wi-Fi here, and it's not good.
Hey, but
That's
you guys
completely
are
different. Yeah, they're
you guys
clear as
are
anything
coming
now.
through way better now.
Yeah.
You guys were a little pixelated before.
I can't figure out how to hold this camera though. It's really weird.
Yeah, that's why like with the freight race, that was the whole reasoning of what you were doing, was to show people of different parts of trucking under different umbrellas of what the potential of money you could earn. But because it's like with me being leased on with Schneider, there's obviously a trade-off compared to people that are on the spot market. But I come under Schneider's umbrella. I don't have the insurance problems. I don't have a lot of problems, but it's a trade-off,
You're just gonna have to hold the phone for Velox's 3-hour live.
Yeah, you're gonna have rotator cuff surgery after this.
I'm gonna send you the bill.
Yeah.
3 hours?
See?
I wanted to comment.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I'm making her top ramen. She's not gonna be able to wait 3 hours.
You can imagine those kids would just throw the stuff on the floor saying, all right, for Pete's sake.
I wanted to comment on that last question really quick though, about like the bragging with the rates. I would wish that more YouTube channels, especially like if you're leased on with someone, if you would say like what your carrier is charging you, because I feel like we watch a lot of different channels, and sometimes I feel like I get really excited by the spot market, but I feel like it's a little bit of a deception too, because there's a lot of hidden fees and costs that you pay as an owner operator that a lot of people are not necessarily disclosing. And that's it paints a really, really pretty picture. But if someone goes out there thinking they're going to go make, $15,000 in a week or $7,500 on a load or whatever the number is, and then they get out there and they do it and then they don't, they're going to be like really disappointed.
It's like with me, because where I'm leased on with Schneider, my all my fixed costs with Schneider, all the variations of insurance with bobtail and everything else, I pay $120 a week. That's it. I have no other charges. The rest of it is what I make, and I have no truck payment because this truck paid off.
Yeah, hold this. The thing's boiling.
So we're gonna be similar with Siva on the this camera's so Nick, this is so weird. So I can't get it right. The Siva's gonna be similar for us. We're gonna be it's 100 something each week for our fixed costs, and obviously because they're the customer, we're not gonna pay like a percentage. The last carrier we released onto, the rate sounded like super amazing when we first got told the rate, but then when they took out their 12%, it was kind of like wah wah wah. So I see a lot of channels. It's not like one channel in particular because I see a lot, and they just they don't share that maybe their carrier takes 12% or 10% or whatever the number is, and you think, man, those rates are awesome, but then it's like kind of meh.
Yeah, I think that was Matt's idea to do more of a net, because my idea was just revenue race and see who can gross the most to the truck, after the carrier expenses and things. But as an owner operator, independent owner operator, like so many of my costs are going to be, they're coming out of my pocket, whereas like my insurance is crazy high compared to what you guys are paying for insurance. So it's like, yeah, you guys are paying, a percentage or I mean, you guys aren't, but people who are leased on to carriers like Landstar, they're paying this huge percentage, but then they get way cut rate insurance. There's a lot of other things going on there as well.
And so, I really believe that, like, no matter how you slice it, whether you have your own authority or you're leased to, I'm going to say a good carrier, I think in the end, everybody really is making the same money. It varies by like a couple dollars, but I think when the day's done and over with, everyone's probably about the same money after you've paid the bills.
Yeah,
Right.
you have more freedom with your own authority. I mean, let's face it.
Sure.
You're leased on. They're going to be, hey, when are you going to go back to work? You got to pay this. You got to pay that. We need to make money off of you. And you're Mr. Velox, so you can just go to work whenever you want.
Stay in hotels.
Yeah, hotel.
Chilling at the Holiday Inn.
I really am.
And Holiday Inn's a good place to stay.
Yeah, that's my favorite chain.
Well, for sure, the rates won't last, and that's why I started watching. And Nick, when you went, we used to watch you when you did your sulfur stuff, and we started watching you when you went to, running your stuff and running to LA. And I was like, man, I wish you the best, because I remember the rates going from the north to the south there. They suck. Yeah. I mean, you're talking $450, $500 to go down to LA, and then you could get 1,000 coming back up. And that was okay money, but I mean, you had to push it to make a living doing that. I mean, if you did $1,500 every 2 days, because let's be realistic, it takes you a day to get down there and a day to get back. So 1 week you might make more money, but the next week you're going to make less money because you can't you can't run as many trips.
Yep.
See, I used to run when I did flatbed. I used to run these ladder loads for Home Depot, and they used to load them out of McCarran, Nevada. I used to just deadhead over there because they paid about $1,300 or $1,400 with 3-4 drops to the Bay Area, all Home Depot, light stuff, and paid okay. Then they moved out of McCarran to LA, City of Industry, and couldn't deadhead down there. It's too far away. They paid less coming out of LA than they did out of McCarran. So it's just, you got to make it while you can, run the rates while you can, because we all know they're not going to last forever.
Well, they're already dropping in some places.
Yeah.
You're seeing that in a couple of spots already where there's either no freight there or there's or the freights have already just be withered. I was in Denver the other day, and they were trying to give me 80 cents a mile back to LA.
That's crazy.
That's pretty cheap.
There is a weird noise.
Yeah, I don't think that noise is coming from us.
I think it's Nick.
No. Muted my mic.
It probably is.
Oh wow, we got 5 now, guys. We're 5 deep.
Woo!
Who's this then? Oh, nice you to make it then. We've been trying to keep the whole thing going until you've actually got on and done something.
Sorry. My bad. Sorry to keep everybody waiting.
Yeah. You're very quiet.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
What?
Say what's up to Truckin' with the 806 driver. He's in here.
Hello?
There we go.
You don't hear me now?
Yeah, you sound a bit different.
Says the only British guy in here.
Yeah. Who knew?
Good
Oh,
comeback.
heck, who knew?
Oh.
Right. Let me go.
What did I miss?
I'm going to jump out about 2 minutes because I'm going to go inside the OC just to grab a cold drink, and I'll be straight back.
Straight back. All right.
Yes, just keep an eye on my truck for a minute.
It'd be really funny if someone just hopped in and started driving away with it.
That would be amazing. Terrible, yet amazing.
All right, here we go. Big Dog said, found a 2018 utility for $30,000. What do you think? I mean, I think that's probably a good deal.
2018? I don't know anything about trailers. I wish I did. Sorry, it seemed cool, but no.
I think that's a going rate now, but 2 years ago that would have been.
Yeah, I'm with you.
What is it? A reefer? What unit's on it?
I think it's a dry van.
53 foot. Oh, it's a dry van.
I think so. For $30K, I would imagine it's a dry van.
I was looking up prices for trailers like the dry vans, and I cannot believe how expensive they are right now. It's like absolutely like the world's lost its mind.
They're about on par with reefers. Sometimes even more.
I'm telling you, I was like, I had a down payment on a $33,000 trailer, and it was a 2017. So
was it over there at Blackman's?
No, it was right there at Qatar Transport in Turlock. They were getting rid of a bunch of dry vans. They run reefers. They have dry vans, so.
Yeah, that was. I just bought mine, so I mean, I had put down $10,000 on a 2019, and they wanted $35,000 for it.
Bugger. The door's got like a digital code thing, and the code's on my phone. So I'm trying to guess what it is. I'll get one later.
All right, so somebody's got to introduce me to who all we have in here.
Okay.
There's Nick, who's Velox 18 from California. There's me, you Muppet.
You Muppet, huh?
Yeah. This is Trucking Together, or one half of Trucking Together.
One half. I sent him to go get our tripod.
Oh,
that's what I was telling you about. You need to follow these. They're on. They're not doing filming at the moment because there's been like, if you watch their videos, you'll see why. But
we're on holiday.
You're on holiday.
Is that what you guys call it? Holiday.
Home time. Oh.
So like you.
Who's this down here?
It's BT Trucking. That means you don't follow me, so you got to go follow me.
BG, I
follow
will.
You. I know
BT.
who you are.
BG.
BT.
BT.
With a B.
BT.
Like B
Apparently
for.
I can't hear well either.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Definitely.
Just someone asked who was in the middle. What's your YouTube channel name? And Just Truckin' said the infamous Nomadic Brit.
Yeah. Good man, Justin.
Do this without like disconnecting.
You confused.
I can believe in myself.
I've got a nomadic.
Are you in an RV?
I've got a
Yeah, we're in our toy hauler. We're
nice.
at the Oregon Dunes.
They're on vacation.
Yeah, we're
We just live in a trailer.
What toy
Right,
hauler do you have?
thoughts.
Hey, I did it. We did it for 5 years. Lived in an RV, traveled.
We lived in this one for 6 months while Martin remodeled a house, an entire house all by himself.
She painted.
I painted, but that doesn't really count.
I hate painting.
But yeah, he literally had to remodel the whole house. So we lived in the toy hall. It worked out well, actually. It wasn't bad.
Nice. It's amazing you realize after living in a camper for so long that how much crap you don't need.
Well,
For real.
You also
How
realize
much stuff you don't want.
You also realize how crappily they build these things.
Yeah,
yeah. That's why we don't do it anymore.
I like not having things so much that I would literally get rid of just about everything other than like my computer and my car and my bike.
Well, and the kids.
I guess the kids and the husband. And live in an RV.
You guess.
That's her way of talking.
I'm very
That's
real.
funny.
Now, Dad.
Hey, so that $30,000 2018 utility was a Thermo King reefer.
That's not bad.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's a good price.
In today's price market.
Yeah, what'd you pay for yours, Nick?
57.
And it's what, 15?
It's a 17.
17.
Yeah.
Nick's obviously not sleeping with the right people.
Yeah, I'm like sitting here going, hey, how do I get my hands on that one? That 30,000.
You gonna buy it out from underneath them? No, big dog. That is a terrible price. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Your next video will be, I got a $30,000 reefer.
Yeah. Who's selling that really overpriced reefer? Let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah.
Right. Terrible.
Drop the phone number and the location.
Yeah.
Jennifer's there.
Well, if I bought more equipment, maybe I would be able to put it on out in Tennessee before I get there. I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
I know somebody in Tennessee that could use it.
I don't know anybody in Tennessee that could use it. I'd have to hire straight off of Craigslist.
Oh, somebody's calling. I gotta go.
Oh, yee. Jennifer's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did that the other day on the phone. You're like, she's got everybody doing that.
Vegas guy was taking off. So see if Vegas guy have dinner. Enjoy your dinner.
Yeah, have a good night, Vegas guy.
Enjoy dinner, that's for sure.
Yeah, I see this. Yeah, the soccer ball. He wants me to take him riding, but I'm on a 3-hour live with Velox 18.
Boom. Hey, don't let us keep you though. Riding with your boy is way more important.
No, it's all good. He gets it. They're just out playing, so he can take a little break.
I need to take a little break.
See,
he agrees. He needs to take a little break.
Take a little break.
Did you tag the link to the StreamYard in the video?
No. Do you want me to?
I didn't know if you did. That's all.
No, I just sent it to all these people so that we could have a big group in here.
Fair enough.
That'd be crazy if like all the viewers joined in. There'd be so many like windows.
Yeah, I guess they can do up to 10, I think.
You do 6 free. But I know, Nick, you're not buying StreamYard, so Nick will only ever have 6 available. As he sits in a hotel.
Yeah, I spend all my money on eating out, hotels, and long haul peeps. I can't afford StreamYard. What are you talking about?
Living the trucker life.
Hey, Nick, when you went on your trip, what was the best place you ate? Since you did that whole little bit.
Okay, so we didn't get to stop at too many like nice, like I don't know. We ate a lot of like off the beaten path. Like, hey, there's truck parking here, so we're gonna eat here. I had a burger at this little place in Nashville, and I don't remember what it's called, but they had some Australian food, and it was I had a burger that had it was bacon and avocado and an egg and just all this good stuff. but it was called like the Down Under Blunder Burger. And that one was good. And then that restaurant was kind of cool because they were like a nonprofit that helped people get off the streets, and they like teach them to cook and teach them a skill, and then help them get off the streets. And so anyway, that was a cool place. And then probably just the hot chicken place, Helen's Hot Chicken in Murfreesboro. We didn't get to go to any of the famous Nashville hot chicken places because the lines were crazy long, and so we had to skip it. But we went and had Helen's Hot Chicken, which was more of like a hole-in-the-wall place in Murfreesboro, and it was pretty legit, pretty good. But we didn't like stop and get like we did eat one little place in Sweetwater, Texas, but I wasn't impressed with it. It was just kind of like generic diner food. It wasn't like anything to write home about. Yeah, I don't know.
Nick,
So you
was the
take
water
Tennessee, you take the
sweet?
gold, huh?
That sounds interesting. He wants to know if the water's sweet.
Both of us want to know.
I only had Coca-Cola and Pepsi, so
That's sweet,
it was
then.
pretty sweet for me.
It
That's
was
sweet.
sweet. I'm surprised, Nick, that you didn't stop at the Big Texan, like the biggest tourist trap on your way out. Stop there, go eat a big old steak,
I
and do
mean,
the challenge.
that El Gordo Velox chowing down on that 72-ounce steak, that would have been the ticket. That would have been the clickbait of all clickbait.
Yeah, for real.
But see,
I could have had
Nick's
a
cheap.
good
Nick's cheap.
thumbnail.
You know he wouldn't finish it. Said he
Yeah.
wasn't going to pay for it. It's like $75 or $175 for that meal.
Yeah,
That really is what it is too.
Somebody else eat it.
I don't even think that thing's a real steak though. I think that thing is more like a roast.
yeah, it's like it looks like a Chuck sirloin roast to me.
Here's your roast.
Yeah, it's like 10. What do you get? Rolls. You get the steak. You got to finish like a boot beer or a boot drink, a salad, and then like 10 jumbo shrimp or something like that. All in an hour. Like that's way too.
That's a lot of food. When I started going through there, man, it used to just be the steak. You literally just had to eat the meat, 72 ounce, and it used to look different. There was an actual sirloin. It looked different, and then all you had to do is eat the meat. But I guess a lot of people started, watching all these competitive eaters on YouTube and stretching their guts out, and they were able to put it away.
Yeah. I seen in there. My wife and I, we went at one point years ago, and the girl that held the record was like 5'2", like 120 pounds, if that.
Yeah.
Some little small girl, and she ate 2 of them in the 1 hour.
I think that video's on YouTube.
It might be, yeah. I just remember seeing the plaque on the wall. It's like, holy crap! Like, she's like 12 years old. Woman.
What do you say, Mark? You want to cook some British food for me next time I go out there?
I miss British food. I mean, my wife says it's bland because our food is. I mean, the food here is a lot bigger than it is in England, and I must be able to go like just get like proper fish and chips, proper Scotch egg, stuff like that. Because America's take on food is just different. It's like if you had Chinese food, then you got American Chinese food. It's just a different take on it, and you sort of throw so much stuff in it, even down to the kitchen sink. Everything gets thrown into a meal. It's just so yeah, I miss
like
British
Taco Bell.
I'm
Yeah, then you got
about British food.
then you got fast food Chinese food too, right? Is that Panda or whatever that is?
Panda Express, yeah.
That orange chicken's good though.
Nomadic, you guys over there though in England, like your McDonald's is on a whole different level, isn't it? You're just the way the food is prepared and everything, it's different. It's a lot, I guess you would say, better.
There's not so many like here. You put so much more sauces and stuff
preservatives
into food, and like I say, food is bigger here. Like if you go to like say a chicken place in England, like KFC in England, the chicken is so much smaller. You come here, the chicken's on steroids. You pick up a piece of chicken here, and it's like about It's this big. But just the food is just so much more bigger here because it's like injected and everything else just to accelerate things. But yeah, our food's just very different. And I miss going to the pub as well. Just I miss pubs. Because all you got here is like sports bars, and I don't want to sit there drinking a pint with some bloke throwing a ball around and stuff like that.
So, is it true if you walk into the wrong pub over there, you can get seriously hurt? Like I've seen Euro Trip when those two guys walked into the wrong bar.
Yeah, there was one. I had a lot of my mates were in the armed forces, and the problem is when they come back out, when they've been obviously done like tours of Ireland and stuff like that, they're all a little bit and I remember one time all of us, there must have been about 10 of us, we went into the wrong pub and it ended up with like just a massive brawl in the pub. Just it's just a testosterone and people comparing like their army badge, their army tattoos and stuff, and it went crazy. You got chairs around the head, bats and stuff like that. It's just
and you got to watch out for all the soccer hooligans.
Yeah, because soccer's so big in England. Soccer's really big. Soccer and beer.
Yeah.
But you know what? I learned this from Mark. They don't eat chicken on a biscuit.
No, because we have a scone. We call that a scone. And we don't put chicken in that. We put like jam and butter or jam and cream. Not a lump of chicken.
I think the chicken and biscuit thing is mainly down south because we really don't see it up here either.
Yeah, no. I don't recall ever seeing chicken and biscuits up here.
But it is pretty damn good.
And that's the only way to eat chicken.
I know. I'm telling you, I go down south and eat that stuff all day long.
Daniel Yosin, Mark, do people talk different in England as in Canada? Yeah, I mean we speak British. I don't.
I think. Hey, Mark, I think what he means is like how if you're down south, they speak different than they do in California.
Yeah, because I'm originally from London, one of the boroughs of London called Wimbledon, and if you listen to a northerner, I can't even understand northerners. They talk weird, and I'm not a snob, but I don't understand a lot of northerners like in England. But yeah, you got the north and south divide, like you have here, the north and south divide. It's amazing how many different accents you have in this country, and we're all American. But yeah, we have different accents in England. My dad was what they call a Cockney, so he really, when he used to speak, my mum would tell me that it's very rhymes, like on the dog and bone. That means you're on the phone. There'd be so many different things that a Cockney would say. It's very, very different, very slang. So there.
Yeah, it's like it's a much smaller space, but it's like the U.S. You got your Southerners, you got your northern, like Chicago area people, and you got your North Dakotans. They talk totally different, and you got your even in Texas they talk different. California.
Yeah, I mean the strongest ones if you go to Scotland or Ireland, that Celtic. I mean, if you listen to a real Scot, they might as well just be talking in Chinese because you have no understanding what they're talking about,
Yeah.
I get mistaken for Hispanic all the time. Hispanic guys walk up to me, that shivers receivers, they just start talking to me, and I look at them like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. That happens all the time. That's frustrating to me. But my wife just says I'm part Spanish. It's okay.
I think it happens to Nick too.
Probably happens to Nick a lot.
Oh, I'm sure out there in California, it's your first language.
Well,
usually, California, I think there is more Spanish speaking out here than there is anything else.
Oh yeah. But Nick just looks like a cholo.
I lean like a cholo. Yeah, I actually do get, but it's usually after I try to speak Spanish and I try to, have a little bit of a like proper pronunciation when I speak Spanish. So I don't know very much, but what I do know, I pronounce, typically pretty well. And so then they think like, oh, you know Spanish, and then they just start going, and I'm like, like all I know how to say is
right.
like, hi, how's it going, and that's it. I can order food.
Yeah,
It's like that.
you just point to the picture of what you want.
It's
No.
just like whenever I've been to France, because England is, if you catch the ferry from the south coast of England, it takes just about 2 hours to get to France. And the British, we don't get on with the French, and the French don't get on with us British. And when you go to France, they make sure that they, just to let us know that they're French, like they will speak to you in French, and I don't speak French, and I will speak to them in English. And so, like you say, we just point to stuff, and you go to the restaurant and things like that, because we just don't get on with the Europeans. So,
Mark, have you ever been to Quebec? It's the same way.
I know. I've been up there once for Schneider as a company driver, and that guy, I mean, they're really militant. They're real.
Yeah, it's the same way. They don't like English speaking people there for some reason.
Oh yeah, that guy made sure they had to get a translator guy to tell me what he's talking about, because I didn't know what on earth he's talking about. He was just like, blah, 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 blah. No idea what you're talking about. Chicken and biscuits. The reason us southern truckers are a little wider than most.
Mike, I feel
Probably
personally
true.
Joe Camper.
Hey, Joe.
What's going on, Joe?
Yeah. Evening, Joe. Whatever the time is, wherever you are.
Where are you at, Mark?
Nosing I'm in Pennsylvania at the Schneider yard.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you said you were in Pennsylvania. What, like Pittsburgh area or something?
Yeah, Pittsburgh is like about 20 minutes over that way. I got back here with 3 minutes on the clock today, so that was good.
Ooh, renegade.
Oh, you made it then, right on.
Yeah, I've taken it right down to like 30 seconds, but I had a bit of room today, so that was good.
No wonder your truck can go 85.
Yeah, I was waiting for Schneider to send me some messages saying, we've caught your truck doing this. Like, okay. And they often send me messages every now and then just to say, we're tracking your truck. Do you realize you've done that speed? And I just say, and?
I was going downhill. The load was pushing me.
I know.
Right.
Yeah, because sometimes I forget, like I say, if I'm in a rush, and if it's like once you've offloaded a tanker, once you've got rid of 45,000 pounds and you've been driving with it sloshing around, the first thing you do, you carry on driving out. So when it's empty, you just boom, you just go flying along, and you just forget sometimes. But because I even had another YouTuber said to me yesterday, Snore Lord. I didn't even realize it was him I went flying past, and he messaged me after saying, have you just gone past me? I thought I saw this green flash of a Kenworth that I went past, and it was him. But yeah, I guess I do like Nick does. I don't see pyramids, but I just go. I don't see huge four-sided like architectural buildings, but I just zoom out.
Hey, Mark, you know what I did last night? So I was pretty tired, and I drove those tankers for 4 years,
Right.
And I just, when you have that surge, you quick shift between second and third, or I always would, because you get the load moving, and then it goes back while you're in second gear, and then it comes back forward. And so I would always catch, that little forward momentum, and I'd only be at like 1,100, 1,200 RPM, and I just quick shift, and then just get it into third, wait for the surge again, get it into fourth, and get through the gears with each surge, and you don't have to. So the other night, I think it was last night, I was driving, I was tired, and I was actually recording a little something, and so I wasn't like thinking, I was just kind of driving on autopilot, and I started in second, and I mean, I just barely pressed the gas, the accelerator for like a half second, and then just went to put it in third at like 1,000 RPM. And the truck was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Why did I do that?" And it took me a while, and I think it's just from like the years and years and years of driving nights, running heavy loads, when I was at 80,000 pounds, I would try and get 80,000 exactly on the dot every single time I loaded because I got paid by the hunter rate. So I was always maxed out on the weight. I always had that surge going. And so anyway, that's the only reason I can think that I would shift 1,000 RPM or try to.
The load that I did earlier on that I brought from Joliet in Illinois, because I came through Chicago about 2 o'clock in the morning. That was chaos. I videoed a lot of that stuff. That was mental. But I went down to Joliet in Illinois. I picked up the preloaded trailer. That took them like 2.5 hours to find the paperwork, but I didn't care because they just had to pay me what I've sat there. But I always make a thing that I don't go through the mountains of Virginia with a tanker because it's the most uncomfortable driving thing to do because it's like this and you're up and down the mountains. And I knew I just forgot all about it. I picked that load and stuff me. I had to go through the mountains here in Virginia, and I'm thinking, you Burke. And I'm just driving along, and I'm coming down the hill, and I noticed there was smoke coming off the trailer's wheels because the brakes had just given up on the trailer. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm looking out, and there's people like moving across because the brakes are smoking on the trailer. And you're like, do you throw the anchors out and stuff out to try and slow down, or you just keep going? But because that's the problem with a lot of Schneiders trailers, it's like the stress. You're trying to brake, and then that liquid's coming forward and pushing you down the hill, and you're trying to slow it down. It's just the friction it creates on it because that liquid's going like this on you. But bloody hell, I managed to stop. But you just see the smoke coming off the brakes on the trailer at the time. But that's why I don't go through the Virginia mountains with a tanker, because it scares the bejesus off you.
Well, you know how to downshift, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but the problem is I'm doing about, it says it was like 65. I'm doing like 55 because I don't want it to run away. But I didn't realize the brakes were smoking already.
Yeah.
And then
once you're there, you can't slow it back down. It's
I know,
hard.
and then you got to do the Irish thing of keep like touching the brakes to try and sort of slow down more, and then yet there's more and more smoke coming out the side of the trailer. And there's people like they're probably going to film you because, oh yeah, I'll put that idiot on YouTube. Look, it's going to crash. And I'm not going to be that person.
Bonehead trucker?
Yeah, I'd rather grab a parachute and bail out, you know?
Hey, Big Dog, I don't know if that's you signing off, but yeah, man, I'm glad we could provide a distraction for you, and like we said, we'll be praying for your wife, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
Easy
definitely.
means for sure.
Mike Sewell. Who are you with then, Mike? Tanky Yanker.
Nick, how'd you like that MX-13 pulling 80,000 pounds of liquid?
It was terrible.
I bet.
And those were neutered. I mean, they were 430 horsepower engines to begin with, and then they were governed, and the RPMs were limited, and so it was all around just a terrible setup. There was certain times on Richmond Parkway trying to accelerate from a red light where you couldn't get your RPMs up high enough to shift to get it in gear. You just couldn't. There's no way to do it. So I would have to just like quick shift the heck out of it, try and catch the surge just right. And I mean, I figured it out over 5 years, but there was new guys who they never got the hang of it. I mean, they had been doing it for a year, and they still would. They would put it in like second gear to creep up the hill when they saw there was a red light, up ahead, and they just like be creeping up the hill so that they wouldn't have to try and get through as many gears, because it was pretty terrible when it maxes out at 1,500 RPM and you can't go over that. You just can't. I don't know. It was not good. Not good.
For those 10 speeds too.
10 speed, yeah.
Oh man, I can only imagine.
Yeah, and then they wonder why all of the clutch brakes and all of the they have so many issues with those clutches and transmissions. And just
it's usually the case with tanker work. Stuff wears out, like running gear. Rear ends, U joints, and transmissions, they wear out a lot quicker with tanker work.
Right. Yeah, because I've only got like a DD.
I'm surprised they didn't go to the automatic.
Most of like Schneider, a lot of their tankers, all their new tanker trucks coming on board now are all automatics, which they seem to perfect. This is the funniest place though. They sort of like, I've got a DD13. All these trucks are DD13 engines because it's all about weight issue. They want to get as much weight down so they can get more in the tank. And like this truck in front of me, that one, let me show you. That one's got a tag axle, and I don't know if you can see it, but the problem is this place, I think it was about 4 winters ago, as you come down here, it's an automatic with a tag axle. So the center, the furthest axle is just a dummy axle. And over here coming down, there's a big ramp, and there was one winter they had snow here, and not one of these trucks could get out because it couldn't grip. They had to have a tow truck come here to tow these trucks up the ramp because they're like, you got a dummy axle and it wouldn't grip with the super singles. But it's funny, but Schneider has just sort of done everything they can to strip these trucks out, the company trucks, for the weight issue.
No locker in there?
Pardon?
No locker on the rear end?
Nope.
No, that's,
I mean, yeah, they're pretty
just a cross locker, right?
No, just an open differential. So it's basically a one wheel peel, you know, one wheel's always spinning.
Yeah, it's a funny setup, but they keep changing it every year to try and get it better and better. But I know, like 1 year, they just really fell out with Freightliner. They were going to do legal problems with them and everything, but it was just fun to watch them to be towed out.
We had a couple of those trucks, and with like doubles, the weight sits really far back, so you never really have a lot of weight on your drives.
Right.
And I expect a couple like that with the dummy axle in the back, but we put a locker in it, and it really didn't have any traction disadvantages compared to a power divider. I mean, unless you had a power divider and locking diffs on top of it compared to a single locking diff, I'm sure it would outperform it in the winter, but they didn't seem to have any problems. And they did get about a half a mile per gallon better than, a twin screw setup with 2 differentials back there and a power divider.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they obviously, a mega carrier like Schneider, they try to, it's like any fuel cost saving. They, once you times it by how many trucks they got, which is thousands, it's such an impact. But their tanker division, all the tanker trucks have got super singles, but the rest of the divisions don't have super singles. They've just got like dual tires. Because they do get problems with these super singles. Once they let go, they cause so much damage.
Save any way they can.
That's why you buy Virgin.
Yeah, but they don't. Schneiders are all retreads.
Oh, yeah,
buy a pre-emission and an ELD exempt truck all day long. If you can run it, go for it. Sirius 60 12.7.
Yeah, we can't do that over here.
Well, stay out of California. No, you could. There's guys that still do it.
You got 47 other states you can run to. You're good.
If you stay out of California, by all means, go for it. N14, Sirius 60, 3406E. No matter what. I mean, yeah, it's an older truck. It might nickel and dime you, but it's probably easier than dealing with emissions problems.
Trying to get them to.
Why is she trying to get our ducks to poop on her? I'm confused.
She's talking about the ducks. Okay. I don't know if you guys have been following along all those comments, but she had ducks in the bathtub. The ducks are wandering around the house, and now Nomad's daughter's trying to get the ducks to poop on her.
Yeah. It's because my wife got pooped on by the 2 ducks. She was holding the 2 baby ducks, and they both pooped on her within minutes of each other. And she told our oldest daughter, Nevelita, well, you're not a real duck mom unless you get pooped on. So she's like, I need him to poop on me so I can be a duck mom. Oh, yeah, that's our family. Going out trying to get animals to poop on you.
Hey, Scott Bulak, what kind of freight do you pull? Who are you taking that towards? Because there's 5 of us in here. I don't know who should answer. I guess we can all answer. So I'm reefer.
What is a perfect car?
Mark.
I'm tanker. So mine's all chemicals except fuel. I don't touch fuel and I don't touch food product.
We are in the RV transportation business currently, but that's going to change in a couple of weeks.
We
They're
only
on
have one
vacation.
customer.
Yeah.
I'll just drive in over a Landstar.
I've recently started dry van. I did 14 years of car hauling.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
You miss that? Larry, do you miss
I
car
do.
hauling?
I love car hauling. It was the best thing in the world. Just due to insurance reasons, I can't do it with the new authority.
Oh, okay.
It like triples my insurance.
Wow.
Yeah, cars are expensive to haul.
So you're saying
but
you
they
might
pay
go
extra,
back to
don't
it when your authority's been around long enough to make the rates reasonable, though, right?
I'm going to take
What's
that.
that?
If you can, once your insurance premiums go down, you think you go back to hauling cars or go get back into it on your own authority?
I want to. Yeah, I got several people that are calling me and that are asking me already if I would run cars for them. I've probably been I get asked that all the time, that I would have the freight. It's just when I called on the insurance, they were talking like $40,000 a year.
Yeah, cars are expensive when you're a new authority for sure. I mean, insurance for car hauling is expensive in general, but once you're new, it's just way up there.
Well, if you're hauling a Tesla load, if you're hauling a Tesla load with Model S's, you figure the Model S's run $180,000 a piece.
Yeah.
You got
That's
9
how
of
much
them.
a Model S Tesla is?
They're expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, because
That's
I see this
probably
guy.
how much. That's probably how much they want you to insure them for when they're brand new.
Yeah. Well, they are. They're not.
Whatever, I'm sure.
And then if you ever
When you
haul
haul
used,
them,
go ahead.
when you haul a Tesla, it's crazy because when they're brand new, your phone is basically the key, and it's in demo mode. You can't do nothing. It won't go over 5 miles an hour. Basically, you can just load it on your truck, and that's it.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Well, then if
I
you
would
ever
never
haul
buy
you,
Tesla. It's
if you
pointless.
ever haul,
You would what?
I'm cracking my nose.
I don't know.
Sorry.
If you ever haul used ones, you better take good pictures of it and make sure everything's good on there. Because those guys, man, once you unload it, they don't like to pay if you put a scratch on their car.
Oh yeah.
They make you pay out of pocket.
That's what a lot of the car hauler apps are. Yeah, the car hauler apps, that's pretty much what they're doing now, is you have to take 5 pictures of every car. You take a picture from every corner and then the top of the roof.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're gonna end up doing drive-in, but I'll tell you what, them curtain sides up here in Oregon with those 4 axles are calling my name.
I think the weather's calling your name.
That too, the weather's calling my name.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Well, let's go out to the park. We'll just do a change of scenery real quick.
All right, we're gonna do a change of scenery. We're gonna go take the boy to the park so he can play, but we'll stay on.
Cool.
I think my wife's going to show her ducks.
So how much is the fuel in California?
It's like $4 on average.
Yeah, I just in fact that's funny because I just filled up, Nick. I filled up right next to where you parked, and I think they're the cheapest in California at $3.79.
Wow.
And then I know that
Bert, let's get your shirt.
just like the average truck stops are running about $4.25 to $4.35.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Wow. I mean, that's like Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's high.
See that's where I can't. Nick, I feel for you, bro, because I know your fuel mileage is not what I'm pulling on fuel mileage.
Yeah. I don't care.
As cheap as Nick is, he doesn't care. I think it's funny because I used to be that guy when I first started the owner-operator life. I was like a 58 to 62 mile an hour dude. I did everything I could to possibly get better fuel mileage. And I would do over 8 all day long, no problem. Now I generally stay in the 7.5, 7.65, somewhere in there.
That's where I'm at.
Then I do a little better. But yeah, I got a buddy, Tehran. He'd leave his truck idling. He'd go sit inside the break room for 3 hours and his truck would be out there running. Like, what are you doing? It's gonna be cold when I get back in. So, whatever, dude.
Wow.
And I tell you what, that's why I would like to get one of those like the cars, one of those push button starters.
Oh yeah.
You know, where you can start it from, you know, and then get to it, and it'll be nice and chill when you got in it.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'm sure you could do it, especially if it's pre-emission. You
Well,
don't have
I
to push
seen-
the clutch. You don't even have to bypass that.
I seen on Nevada Truck and Trails, he's got a automatic door opener. So I mean, I'm sure that it's got to be.
Oh yeah, you can put that in your truck too. If you got power locks, you can get that.
He's in here
I
as
don't have
well.
power locks.
There he
I got
is.
manual locks.
Speaking of Nevada, speaking of Kyle,
They you just buy a remote start kit for your semi. That's all you need to do.
I
You
didn't
have to
think
install
about it. I know his
buy
came
it.
with it.
Yeah. Nick's does too. Nick's got keyless entry.
Yeah, just the door locks.
Yeah, keyless entry. Which is cool.
Hello, Mrs. Nevada. Mrs. Nevada in the house.
What's going on, Nevada?
Are you driving tonight? I hope you're not driving and watching.
They've probably gone hands free. Put the truck on auto. You can just type it as you drive along.
He says I'm hands free all the time, and it's you're hands free on the steering wheel.
Well, if the truck's on cruise, no, but I put the truck on cruise control, so it's hands free. I'm not doing it. The truck's doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, confession of a tall person. Most tall people are able to drive with their knees fairly easily in most vehicles. So I will like be eating like this, and I'll drive by someone, and they look at me so weird because I'm eating with two hands. I'm like, I've eaten cereal before, and I'm just steering with my knees. I just about had my friend Josh crapping his pants one day because I was eating a burrito, and then I was shifting gears, and I was steering with my knees. And he was like, dude, aren't you gonna hold the steering wheel? I'm like, bro, I got my knees. I don't gotta hold nothing. But,
Yeah, Nick's that man. He's that man.
Dangerous. There's a daredevil over there in Cali.
I've even got Nick in my phone as Nick's the man, or Nick that man. That man, Nick.
that guy.
That guy.
That guy, Nick.
That's what I've got you listed in my phone as. That guy.
That guy.
I think mine's Railstar, isn't it?
What?
Yeah,
Railstar.
it is. It is.
I thought so.
And it's the picture from the Instagram picture of you falling backwards off of the rail.
Oh,
That is the,
I need another good back adjustment like that. I felt great, dude, for I don't know, probably 4 or 5 days after that. Like everything got popped and it was nice. I was bruised, but had a lot of pressure relief, so it was good.
So Mrs. Nevada she's about to go trucking. Yeah, Big Dog says he was wondering if he could put a remote start on his truck.
Yeah, but he wants to play yours.
why don't you just leave the window open? Then you wouldn't have to worry about locking it.
What?
Yep.
Just leave the window open. Then you don't have to worry about locking it. You can just. It's better than keyless. I'm just saying. I'm just watching that.
He's up in PA. It doesn't get over 80 degrees.
It's pretty warm here tonight for some reason. It's everywhere I've been in the last 6-7 weeks. I've just been in heat everywhere. I haven't seen any rain, barely any rain, because it's either been behind me or in front of me.
Oh, well, go to Iowa and then to Texas. That's all it's done on me is rain.
Yeah, I'm telling you, our whole trip, I was like, is this really like how it is? You just get rain on every single day?
I know people say to me, like, it rains more in England. It doesn't. It rains more in this country. Normally on a bad time, the amount of rain that comes down in the south is ridiculous, you know? It does rain too much here. Nick's done that thing again. He's trying to freak us out. He's gone sideways. What the heck is that about? That freaks you out.
Of the screen.
No, but see, done it. he just does it, and he does like every time he goes sideways, he does a weird look at you, like, yeah. He's just got this weird look going on.
That's funny.
Our truck needs more lights.
I need some more ginger beer. I'm out of
Yes,
ginger beer.
Kyle, my underglows are all 4-inch LEDs, just on like little brackets, and they just mounted like 2 behind the bumper, 4 underneath the cab and sleeper, and then a couple along the frame rails in the back. So they're all just kind of strategically placed, but they're not like we didn't do. I've seen guys do like the light like strips and stuff, and I didn't want to do that. So we just did the 4-inch LEDs.
There's pretty
So
much
I've
like
replaced all of my sleeper lights with these.
what's with all these, like, everybody's got to have lights? What's wrong with just having some headlights and some rear lights? Well, you got to have all the other stuff.
We're American.
You drive a Cascadia, it's okay.
I want underglow, but Martin, I don't think he's down with that.
He doesn't want to draw attention to himself.
Yeah, I was lucky to win the battle, even put the air cleaner lights in.
Wow.
I think it looks good going down the road. I mean, how can you argue that there's too many lights, you know?
For real.
And it lights you up at night, people can see it.
Yeah. Although I did see a truck that had seen better days the other day, and it had a lot of those little penny lights, the little button lights, and like 4 of them were popped out from their hole and just dangling, and they weren't working. And I was like, man, that looks so terrible.
Excellent. Why do they call them chicken lights when they why on earth are those lights related to chickens? I don't understand what the concept is of why they call them chicken lights.
You know why they call the lights chicken lights, Martin? Do you know why they call them chicken lights?
I know.
You should know. You used to be a chicken
I
hauler.
don't know.
I always thought you called them chicken lights because you turn them off when you go by the chicken house. You know,
Mm.
straight through. Run it.
Okay. We'll go with that one then.
Maybe. I don't know. I've never heard that, but that's interesting.
Well, it was always
For a minute,
so your produce trucks were always with the long hoods. They were always called rooster cruisers, and that's why
They're always called what?
chicken lights. They're called
Rooster.
rooster cruisers.
Rooster
That's
They're
big.
chicken trucks.
Big
Yeah.
dog. I keep looking out here, big dog, because there's a couple of Schneider drivers, and I know what Schneider drivers are like. They crash into things, so I'm just watching.
I thought that was like Swift or Western
Schneiders
Express.
Swift.
Western Express is good at that too.
No, but
That's
there's a
good.
guy. There's a bloke just come round here with a tanker, and it's got hazmat, and when you come down here, it clearly says to carry on
No,
round, but
I'm
he's
not
decided,
doing
no,
that.
I'm not.
Go
I'm going
play.
to go around this way, and he's just like almost wanted to sit inside my truck here as he come around the bend. That's why I was just looking, because he's just being an edge. A Cascadia has ambers all the way down the bottom side. Back is red.
He's afraid of the dark. That's awesome.
Get a
I got a video
candle.
I'm dropping out here in a day or two with all my lights, and I think they look sweet. Little
Oh, here you
shameless
go.
plug there.
Luis Pino has a answer for us. Chicken haulers started it back in the 1970s because chickens like it warm. Warm lights.
Okay.
Yeah, Big
What
Gus
are they,
said
like
the same thing.
incandescent, like glow bulbs or something that they shine on the chickens?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to make this make sense. I'm sorry if I'm the only one. Like, there.
they do put heat lamps on them
like
before
it
they
warms,
hatch.
you put more lights on your truck.
It's going downhill fast, I think. Yeah, go on. Anyway.
70 miles an hour. You know the lights, the heat. They need it.
Okay.
Look at Nevada
I guess.
went ahead
What's
and
up, Google?
Googled it for us.
I don't know if that's true though. It's always been one of those mysteries.
You're awesome, Kyle.
Just Google.
Google figured it out.
Excellent.
What?
Okay.
Frank Purdue
Hey, keep
chickens.
an eye on them.
Not any other chickens. Frank Purdue.
Interesting. Google
You
is
see-
amazing.
I got a T-shirt
Hey.
that says that who needs Google?
Nick.
My wife knows everything.
So on your video, the last one you did, Martin did not get your joke about the load being kind of foul because he did not realize that was related to what you call chickens. I had to explain it to him. It was pretty funny. And then he thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason why.
My brother-in-law is a big waterfowl hunter, so he has a lot of those jokes. So
There's a reason why I didn't finish school.
Y'all want to know the best part of that whole video?
What?
That of his video. How did you do your little
Yeah, did you get that off the fifth wheel?
Straight
The
off
grease, did you
the
get it off the fifth wheel?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
straight off the
Yeah.
front of the trailer. And
I
on
was
my
like,
face.
wow, this guy prepared for this. He brought some like shoe black or stuff. I was like, wow.
How'd you get it off your
Totally
face?
know.
Did you spray a bunch of ether at it or something?
It was Windex. the guy was backing in next to me, and I started spraying my washcloth with Windex, and I just.
There must have been some hardcore Windex or pretty crappy grease, because man, I've never had Windex take grease off.
Yeah, I think I got most of it off, but I think it's still kind of seeping out. But it
You
was
like grease lightning.
Yeah,
It was.
It was.
You always worry about people watching you on the video, but then you're going to be doing that. you know, somebody's going to be sitting there going, "What in the heck is this guy doing?"
Well, that's what I had this whole area all to myself, and it was perfect. And then that guy came and backed right into it, and I was like, "Man, I had this whole thing planned out too." And then I got come on. But no, so I have a greaseless fifth wheel, so that grease has been on the front of that trailer and been power washed and stuff. So it's just like the last remnants of old grease, because it shouldn't even be there on the front of the trailer on that little skid plate.
That was
What do you have,
definitely
like,
one of the
the
most
Teflon
creative
plate?
things I've seen on YouTube with trucking channels, I have to say.
Yeah, it went all
Yeah, it's
out.
pretty out there.
Oh yeah. He definitely killed it with that last video. I thought it was amazing.
Funny.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
I'm having more fun with it, I think, than like just kind of being dumb and being silly is just who I am. So I'm having more and more fun with it as I kind of like gain confidence putting videos out with me being stupid and being willing just to be the guy that I am.
YouTube just enforces it.
Yeah.
Well, you can look like Nick. I've been a fan for a minute, so I laugh. But you go back, like I went back and I looked at some of your old videos. You could tell the difference in confidence that you have compared to now than you did even like a year ago.
Yeah,
it's way different.
Way different.
I was doing that the other day. I started going back because there was some comment that Nick made about, that he's been doing this for that length of time. And I hadn't really checked, but I started going back on, like you say, these old ones, and they are scary, those ones.
Yeah, I watched an old video the other day, and I was like, man, this guy's pretty hardcore. You don't want to catch him in the black alley. He might beat you up.
I know, but he does it, like a couple of the ones he does. I think it's like one of the first few videos he's doing. He's doing it like where he's like looking like that. He's waiting for an encore.
Hey, I agree with my statement there, Nick. Though when you were in Texas, right there, man, I tell you what, you look like a cowboy with your mustache and your hair slicked back. If you had to put a cowboy hat on, it'd have been over.
Yeah.
You'd have been like a 6-shooter right there.
Now he's gonna go. He's gonna go buy a cowboy hat.
You just gotta get that 4-month grow out going again.
Yeah.
Or 4 week. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Did you see that? It's like what most guys have after like a week, and it takes me 4 weeks to get like a little scrub.
I'm gonna start calling you Patches.
Yeah. You didn't see the video where I showed my long beard. because it was long, but it was all from like here down on my neck here, and it was kind of patchy up here. But I just kind of like tried to make it look as good as I could, but it looked terrible. Looked terrible.
Hey, I'm in the same boat you are. If I didn't have this, it's not very good up here.
But you pull that off.
I can't look like Martin. I can only do this.
Yeah.
I messed up and I trimmed it a little bit uneven on this side, so now it looks like crap.
One time we went to do a load to like a refinery or something, and they told him that he had to shave his face. And that was like the most horrific experience I've ever been through, was looking at Martin without facial hair. Sorry.
And you know what the funniest part about it is? In the end, I didn't even need to shave because it was just people that actually are physical employees of the refinery had to shave. I didn't. And my kid at the time, she was like 3 years old. She kept staring at me like, you couldn't recognize me.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Nevada, I don't have pre-pass. I don't have any transponders, so I'm not sure. Is it the hood that's the issue, or is it the visor blocking that?
I would think it'd be the visor.
Depends where you have it mounted.
Yeah, where is the pre-pass located at?
I forget where it's located at on his.
Or it either it's not turned on if it's through the company, maybe it's not activated, or the company just has a bad safety score and they never give you the green light, or they automatically turn it off. Actually, that's possible though. It's very possible.
He's talking about tolls.
Oh, I thought you said pre-pass.
Isn't that what it? Or is it fast track? I don't know what it's called.
Pre-pass is not.
No, he's talking about your pre-pass, your drive-wise.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, DriveWise doesn't use a transponder at all, so it just and it's just for way station. It's not for tolls. So I don't know. Nevada, fill us in on what we're talking about.
No,
he said the bottom of his windshield and it's active.
No, I mean I've got an easy pass. That's for tolls and way stations.
Yeah. See, when I had my car hauler and we had the hood rack. We had to run DriveWise because we couldn't have a pre-pass or even any of the tolls or anything because it would never read.
Oh, because you guys have the 9th car sitting over the top. Yeah.
Yeah, the number 1 car just sits right over your hood.
Yeah. The whole head rack deal. That's crazy that it blocks that, because you figure it should read a signal through some metal here and there. If it can go through a window, it should be able to go through a
Yeah, but most of the time, most of the car haulers, we lower that down where it's only about 3 inches of 3 to 8 inches of actual space.
Get all that fuel mileage.
Oh yeah, the nice 4.4 miles per gallon.
You guys got all the, you guys got all the drag on them cars.
Yeah, you can feel the wind when those guys drive by. You can feel all the turbulence in the air that they generate when they go by. You're like, whoa, what the heck just happened? Oh, car hauler went by.
Yeah, when I was a company driver, because I didn't care about the fuel, I'd put an SUV up there on purpose.
If you ever go back to company driving, I'll give you my number. I'll buy some fuel from you. I had to help a guy out in Effingham one time. He was getting screwed over on Western Express. I was like, hey, anybody want to buy some fuel? And that was back in my Renegade days. And I was like, how much you got?
Wow. I think there's some little coat hangers. Where have you gone, Matt? Why is Matt sending messages in? Where is he?
He said his service just left him.
Left him sitting there.
Yeah.
No.
I hate when that happens.
In another dimension.
I like this idea here with the hanging the pre-pass out the window. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah.
I don't know if I put on a coat hanger though. I might like put on something a little more sturdy, like a selfie stick or something maybe.
Yeah, get a selfie stick every time you come up to a chicken house.
There you go.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock here. I'm gonna have to go because I've got to be up in 4 hours, and then I've got to drive all day.
It was a privilege, nomad and nomadic, man. You guys, You guys are guys I've been watching. It was nice to meet you guys.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
cool,
that as
for
well.
sure.
Yes.
But you need to follow this couple as well, though. Trucking together. If you don't,
I've been following them ever since they spotted me on the I-80.
oh,
Yeah, when we're
That's
making
good.
our life decision, he just
Yeah.
rolls right on by us.
right.
And that
anyway,
truck's
I better go.
memorable.
But I'll catch up with everybody another day then, or whatever. But no, everybody stay safe, and I'm gonna bugger off to bed for a few hours.
Yeah.
All right,
for
Mark.
sure. You too,
Make a
Mark.
video tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
Catch you all later.
Take it easy, Mark.
Hey, you have a
Bye.
good night sleeping.
Yeah, 4 hours. Right.
That's all a
laters.
trucker needs.
That's all you need.
I know. No, and yeah, I need to 10 minutes for a pre-trip though, so 3 hours,
Yeah.
50 minutes.
There you go.
Right, but catch you all again.
All right,
All
take
right.
care.
Bye.
And then there
All right,
were
take care.
3, 4.
Oh, now we're all
We gotta
sliced
get-
up different.
Wait, I got to make this thing go further away now.
Yeah. Now we're just the California people.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, is that what we are?
Oh my gosh. Hold on. This is like really.
We're all movie
Difficult.
We're all movie stars and surfers.
There you go. Hi.
We're all movie stars and surfers.
You guys just got to get closer. Yeah. You guys
There
got
you
to
go.
be closer together now.
We're good.
closer together. Hey, Nick, you ever thought about putting a 70-inch sleeper on that thing so you don't have to get hotel rooms?
No. I've thought about putting an APU on.
I spent 3 whole weeks one time as a company driver working for Michael Lowry's. I know you're paying about sleeping in that 48-inch sleeper because as a grown man, there ain't no way you're comfortable sleeping on that tiny bed.
Me and him actually slept in that sleeper because I went along with him for a trip, and we were both like way fatter too, and that was really miserable.
For a week,
That was miserable.
head to toe.
Hey, I can't do it. I tell you right now, I'm 300 plus pounds. You know, and my shoulders would be across. I couldn't even sleep in that thing.
Yeah.
I really, I guess I didn't. I thought I had slept in a little coffin sleeper before, but I didn't. It was slightly, wider bed because I got in it and I was like, oh wow, all right. Like when I lay on my back, I really am like my shoulders are,
They changed it. They changed them. I want to say in like 2006 or 7 when they went to a very much narrower bed because they used to be about the same size as the 63s, and all you had is a little tiny closet space.
Yeah.
And now you got a little bit more closet space, hanging space, but they definitely took a lot more bed away from you.
Yeah.
The price you pay for looking cool though, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, and that's the thing is,
It is pretty.
if I had an APU and if I didn't have 20 hours between my pickup and my delivery, my delivery and my pickup, and this was just kind of a weird situation, and because LA sucks. LA sucks.
It sucks.
Like, I really
there's
dislike
nowhere to
it.
park there.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to park. I hate going there, man. I
had to.
really don't envy what you do because I would not want to do that every day. I lose my crap going to LA every day.
And I swear when you're there in the summer and it's like stupid hot, I swear it's like humid from the smog. It's so gross there. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And when I'm in LA, I found secret spots. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You gotta find little spots like
If
the
you're-
little dirt spot or whatever.
Right.
You know.
If you're out like where you were in Fontana and Ontario, you can always find a place to park. But if you're more like towards like LA, City of Industry, all
Compton.
that crap, Anaheim, Compton, yeah.
Oh,
Speaking
yeah.
of, I was
Long Beach?
watching your video yesterday where you're going to that Ralph's Groceries, man. I've been there before. I've spent 9 hours there with apples. Try going to the Ralph's Grocery. I don't know if that one's still around, but try going to one in Compton with the hooded truck. Dude, you need to have
The
people-
wall.
Yeah,
Hey,
there's
right?
a wall there. There's a wall there, and there's like no room to back in at all whatsoever.
You're stealing my thunder for tomorrow's video. That's where I went today.
What?
Oh shit.
No, okay, but I read all the reviews about backing in on that side, and then they gave me a door on the other side, so I had it easy.
It's
I had
because
it way
you're
easy.
it's because you're you.
I had to.
Yeah.
I had to have. They gave me one of the harder doors because it's where their little office was, and then I had to back it next to a guy, so I literally had no room to pull forward. So I had to blindside it in. I had to get the two guys next to me on a hook so I can even get in it. There's just no room there.
Sometimes
Yeah.
they swear like shippers are jerks. Like they see you have a hooded truck, they're like, oh, let's mess with this guy. Let's give him the hardest door to get into.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
he
tell
wants
you
to
what,
drive that truck. Let's see if he can drive it.
Exactly.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you
they
what,
didn't
though.
do that to me. They
I'll
were
tell
like,
you
yeah,
what.
put him over on the side, you know, and then
It's
even
because you had the small sleeper.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, and if just trucking, if you're still watching, you're really gonna have a hard time when you first start driving that Kenworth, because even compared to a Peterbilt, when I got out of my Peterbilt and I first started driving my W9, I used to have a 290-inch wheelbase, 86-inch Studio W900. It was an 03. Those turned a lot worse than the newer ones because they changed the gearbox around on them, so they gave them a little bit more turning radius. But man, W900s are the worst trucks to back up. The visibility is poor, way worse than any Peterbilt. The turning radius is a lot worse. It's the worst truck to handle tight spots in.
Well, there's a reason like
W900s.
you'll see Schmidt standing on his steps.
Yeah, you literally have to get out of the truck and walk right by it and then get back in it and get like a deep reduction reverse transmission or something and get out and look and then get back in it, turn the wheel and get back in it, you know. You literally have to be on the step.
Yeah. I've seen guys doing that. I feel like when I'm idling in reverse, I'm going a little quicker than I want to go.
You know why?
To back in.
You know why? It's those
Why is
308 gears.
It is, huh?
It is.
Because I'm like, I don't understand how these guys idle back and stand on the step. Like I can't do that. I gotta like be feathering the clutch the whole time.
I had a FLD with the N14. It had a single overdrive, so 0.73 overdrive, 13 speed, but it had 4 10s in it. When I stuck it in reverse, I can literally get out and walk next to it, and I was faster.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's so. Yeah, I guess I didn't even think about that just because reverse. It's obviously has to use the same gears. I just didn't.
It's just an afterthought.
Are you sure you're not in high range when you're putting it in reverse?
Yeah. Could you imagine though? I've never when I had my day cab truck, there was a couple times like in narrow fields where you'd have to back up for like a mile because they'd want you to drop the empty trailer where they're harvesting now, but then they're like, oh yeah, your loaded trailer is back like a half mile or something. So I put that thing in high range and put it in reverse, and I'd just be going like 25, 35 an hour reverse. It was dangerous.
Oh.
But
got the job done though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did.
That's all that matters at the end of the day.
You live to tell the tale.
Yeah, just barely. Nevada, what do you think, or what do I think of hauling reefer freight?
It sucks.
I like the rates. I like the rates though. It's
So,
okay.
If I may,
Yes.
I don't mean to interrupt. The rates are amazing. The rates are great. But are they worth the 10 pickups up and down the coast and 2 days to get loaded versus driving?
Okay, so I was having issues even in a drive-in because you figure a certain percentage of your drive-in loads are going to the same places that your reefer loads are going. They're going to distribution centers. They're going to these places that could give a crap about your time. So I mean, I've definitely had more wait time on the reefer side of things, but I mean, just by a little bit, not by much. And the rates are significantly better, which I don't know if it's just the timing. It might be the timing of it too. So
they're always gonna be a little bit better.
Yeah.
They're always gonna be a little bit better. And you can pretty much take what the drive-in can, but they can't do what you can do. For the most part, you can. There's certain loads that you can't put in a reefer because a cube volume. They might need the full 98 inches of inside width. You can't do that with the reefer, or your over height, your chute's in the way and all that stuff. Plus weight, you're heavier. Sometimes you might have a 45,000, 46,000 pound load. You won't be able to scale it. You might. I don't know how heavy you are with your reefer, but I couldn't.
No.
I could only put about 44 in the trailer, and I was overweight. So
yeah,
but
43.
For the most part,
43 is my current max because that puts me at about 79. And then that kind of keeps me from having to slide everything around on my axles and everything. I can kind of
Right, and then you got a 53, so you have to play with California. If you don't load it right, you know, you got to make sure your axles are in the right position, or you get $1 a pound fine,
which is crazy.
I think also since you last ran reefer loads, the industry's changed because back then they never did detention, so they could essentially hold you. Now with heavy detention, I think that somebody's got to pay it though.
Nobody does detention on produce. Nobody.
Nick gets detention.
You won't get paid on detention. If you're sitting at a receiver, maybe. But if you're doing pickups in Salinas, or you're doing pickups in Oxnard, or you're doing pickups in Bakersfield or Fresno, ain't nobody gonna give you detention on produce. You might get lucky every once in a while, but it's very rare.
Nick, do you get detention on produce?
I haven't done too many produce loads, and I can tell you that I didn't. When I picked up in Santa Maria, I didn't get when I sat around over there, because that one they pushed me. I had 4 pickups, and they pushed that 4th pickup to the next day because I got hung up in the 3rd one for so long.
You probably wouldn't have made it anyway. I'll tell you one thing: Santa Maria is the black hole of produce in all of California. It is the worst. It is literally the worst. Every time you go to Santa Maria and they'll tell you that the product is ready, you get there, it's not. And you sit there all night till the next day, or till like 3 in the morning, and they'll finally load you. I waited there one time on a single pallet because the customer wouldn't change the order. On a single pallet, I was there for 30 hours. Nobody paid for that because it's already figured in the rate. They figure you're already making so much money, and you know it's produce, you're going to have to wait regardless. Because here's the thing. Most of your produce loads, when you pick them up, that stuff is still out in the field when you're en route to pick it up. They are packing it. They are cooling it as you're waiting. You're always the one waiting on them. Very rarely you get there and it's ready. The Central Valley, if you're picking up citrus, you know, when you get to hauling like oranges, lemons, carrots sometimes out of like Indio area and stuff like that, that stuff is for the most part ready. You know, like the citrus is a lot better. But if you're going to Salinas, anything berries related, lettuce related, you know, stuff like that, I very rarely have I ever come across when I show up there and it's like ready to go and they'll load me. Actually, one time I showed up in Salinas and I almost lost my crap because I got there at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. For the most part, I never wanted to get there till at least 7. I got there and I was hauling these little platters.
I don't know how to do maybe at Jessica.
You know, you got your little platters of like celery and cauliflower and you dip it in. And I picked it up, taking it to Chicago, man. They loaded me right away. And it was awesome because it's 5,000 pounds and I was loaded in half an hour and out of there. So that was the only time I ever picked up a load of produce on time.
Yeah.
True story.
True story.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
How's Lucy doing in gymnastics?
Well, I dropped her off and she lined up. She's a little bit nervous, but she's excited to do it. They haven't went in yet, so I just thought I would say hi.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm just in the car.
I can tell.
Yeah.
We're by a caboose.
Yeah, we're by a caboose.
I can see that.
We're in Oregon. It's nice and cool.
I know. I'm in the air conditioning. That's why it's nice and cool in here because it's like my car is reading 93.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No, it's just been staying 90 till like 10 o'clock though, and that's just like annoying.
Oh, where you guys live, man, I know it. It stays hot there for a while. We'll cool off, and you guys will still be in the 90s.
You guys aren't that far from us, right? Are you?
We get that. But we get that Delta breeze.
Where are you again?
We're in Linden.
Linden.
We get that Delta breeze at night, so we cool off. For the most part, we'll cool off.
Hometown of Aaron Judge from the New York Yankees. Just saying.
Really?
I would never have known that.
Yep.
Nick is a plethora of random facts about sports.
I know who the Yankees are, though, so that's cool.
That's good.
See, didn't I tell you it was going to be a 3-hour Velox live?
I know, he's working on it.
I told him.
I've actually been keeping an eye on it. I want to end it at 2:59, so that way I can be like, see, Martin?
Dude, have you been? Yeah, that doesn't count. Have you been sitting at a hotel since Saturday?
No. I just got here today. I did a load Friday night, Sunday night. So last night, and then I have a load tomorrow morning. Okay. Tuesday morning, delivering in Merced. Tuesday night to McLean in Merced.
I don't blame you hopping in that hotel room, man. It's too hot. And idling the truck, not only is it, it's not cost effective, but it destroys the emission system, and just the motors hate it.
Yeah, that's kind of like me and Miles idled more than I wanted to out there, because I would kind of just tough it out. But Miles was like trying to get schoolwork done in the sleeper, and that sleeper just.
You got to out there though, man. It gets so humid that you can't live in that stuff.
Yeah.
It might not be as hot, but the humidity, it's like you can almost wring the air out, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop and Hook Landstar wins every day. That's why we're going to Drop and Hook, not with Landstar though.
no.
Oh, it just skipped on me. Where is it?
Landstar wouldn't hire us out in where we're at because of AB5. AB5.
Maybe.
We're gonna lease on to Velox 18 if AB5 goes through. Well, AB5 keeps kicking the bucket. Nick's gonna dispatch us on all the hot loads. I don't want to go to LA though, Nick.
When are you guys coming back to California?
Not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday.
Technically, probably Thursday though.
Probably Thursday.
Yeah.
And then how long will you be home? Because I know you guys are like, I like partly heard, but you guys are like in between things. Like
we're in between things.
In between
we're gonna be home when we get home that Thursday. We're probably gonna be home till like Tuesday.
Yeah, we're supposed to dispatch Tuesday evening.
That's when our schedule
Yeah.
starts.
And you guys have all the quads and stuff, right?
Yep.
That's the right people. Okay. Nick will tell me people's like names and like where they live and like something about them. And then if he does that with like too many people, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't remember.
That's why we're
I have too many kids.
Yeah.
That's why we're out at the dunes. She was out there doing some sick wheelies earlier.
No, I wasn't. But yeah, we're out camping with our quads right now.
That's fun.
And our kids.
Yeah,
the kids.
Oh yeah, those kids too. How many kids do you guys have?
We're 4.
We only brought 2 though.
Yeah. Well,
you
one's
got
an adult.
ones?
One's an adult. The other
One's
one
an adult.
wanted to stay with his dad, and then the other 2 they have no choice.
Yeah.
Nice. I know.
We're kind of keeping an eye on them over there playing.
Yep.
BT Trucking said McLean is brutal. Watch the lumper fees. So, well, it's a Coyote load, so the lumper fees should be easy in their app. I think it's my first Coyote load. Yeah, my first Coyote load. So, I'm pretty sure it's easy in the app, like it is with the other broken downs.
I think we saw it for Coyote, didn't we?
Yeah, we've done a lot of flatbed stuff for Coyote.
Yeah. Back in the day. They used to pay us very well.
They paid well. They were always fair. I like their operation.
I mean, like
every once in a while, you got that guy that was just literally stuck on his rate, and he just will not budge, you know.
And I think I've ran into more of those guys than not, because I've bid on loads and just had them, not given to me. But I finally got one, and it's not the best rate I've ever gotten, but I just took it because it goes from right where I'm at, Buena Park to Merced, and it delivers, like, what is that, 15 miles from where I parked the truck? So I mean, it's like, are you gonna leave money on the table now because you don't want to go to the Bay Area or Sacramento even? Mm-hmm. Are you? Yeah. And when you look at it, a lot of times those guys end up trying to negotiate you down to the same rate as you would have gotten going to Merced or Stockton or somewhere over there. So it's like, I might as well just stay in the valley. I don't know, man. I think you need to get on that dedicated palm tree load all the way to Red Bluff every other day. You'd make a killing doing that, and you'd kill yourself, or you'd get in shape.
You get in shape.
That's what it is. I was just so far out of shape. I mean, there weren't heavy items at all, but it's just 1,000 of them. But these little old Mexican guys were running circles around me, unloading their trucks, and you're like, these guys are like twice my age, still running, working trucks, unloading them themselves, and it's just. I just got kind of fat and a little heavy in front.
You'd get it eventually. But here's the thing with that kind of stuff. That load was light, Yeah, it was pretty light. It's
Yeah.
It's not a reefer killer either, because you don't have to run the reefer down to no -20 with ice cream.
65 degrees.
Great fuel mileage, because again, it's light. Well,
Yep.
better.
Yep.
You got to do a lot of drops, but here's the thing: when you do those drops, you're in and out. You don't have to sit there in that dock for 7 or 8 hours or more.
Yep.
You're in and out. That's what I liked about it. That's why I always take that stuff. When I lived in Michigan before we got married, before I met Alice, I used to run local produce out of, because I lived in southwestern Michigan, and we used to run local produce out to Chicago, and we were always heavy. But I used to go to a chain called Jewel Osco, which is out there in the Chicagoland area. And man, they made you unload your own stuff, or you had to hire a lumper. Well, when we did it, we had to pay for the lumper out of pocket, because it was already figured in the rate. So we'd always break the boxes down by themselves. But those guys, they wouldn't give you the electric pallet jacks; they'd give you the manual ones. And those cucumber pallets were like 3,000 pounds plus, man. And the docks were like this, So when you're coming out of that trailer, you better have to hold down and have good brakes, because that pallet's going to run you over.
Yeah.
But I did that almost every other night, man. And hey, money's money. Man.
Yeah, I was I was even thinking, what's the one common theme at every single Home Depot that you see when you're pulling into the parking lot? Day laborers that are willing to work for cash. I mean, I could have literally given $20 at each stop, given up $200 of my load, and been done in one day if I would have played my
I
cards.
bet you totally could have too.
Well, but now you know why every single flower hauler, and I'll call them flower haulers because that's what they did out there when I'm from Michigan. They hauled that. It was a seasonal thing, and it paid very good. But every single one of those trailers, if not most, if not all, have lift gates.
Yeah.
For that reason.
She told me that they actually have loads coming up from San Diego that go to Salinas, but they're all on the rolling racks, the rolling carts.
Yeah.
And so they load you up with those, you strap them in, you drive them from San Diego to Salinas, and they unload them onto a dock, and you just roll them off.
Don't they want a lift gate for that?
No, they have a dock over there in Salinas, I guess.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, because it's all going to their Salinas location, so it's like it's not going to a customer. It's just going.
I hauled flowers for Masterpiece a couple of times here and there. And Masterpiece is a big company out there in the Midwest that is like a floral company, and they haul them, and all their trailers are lift gates, and it was all Home Depots. But we haul them on racks, and then what we do is we unload their loaded racks, and we would take empty racks back and put them back in the trailer. But everything was Home Depot, so you were basically, unloading with the lift gate because it had to come off the trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. But I haven't been watching these. Let's see. Nomad said he needs a shower. Ain't that the truth? Talking APUs.
With the chat, I think if you click the chat button, it'll show up the comments.
I don't know. Let's see.
Here, I'll try and highlight some of them so you guys can see.
Yeah, because we're on Alice's phone and her internet wasn't working.
Yeah. I need my reading glasses though.
Where the kids go?
Daniel Yoder talking about his kids.
Those are fun ages 2 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when they start becoming fun.
I know. That's when it gets good.
Yeah.
It's busy.
Yeah. Then they become 10.
Yes. Trucking together might, in fact, be interested in the race subcategory team racers.
What?
Did I read that right?
Yeah, he's talking about the Great Freight Race.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we wanted to race cars.
No.
I'm down for that.
For quads?
Cars. Anything. Trucks, too.
I still need to make a phone call, too.
Nick wants to do that PDI tune with them compound turbos so he can go there to Michigan and do them wheelies with them B-trains with lumber loads on it, 160,000 pounds. That too won't get you in that winner's circle over there at that event, though.
I just want to be able to have 79,000 pounds gross weight and to be the winner at the top of the grapevine. That's all I want.
So I'll tell you this. No bashing of companies. Their tuner might be okay, but for what you're paying for it, $2,400, you can have 3 great tunes. I got a guy, and I'm not even talking deletes. I'm talking about just straight tunes, Cummins.
Yeah.
They'll keep emissions intact, and he'll put whatever you want in that computer, even 1,000 horsepower, and it'll stay together.
Just barely.
You don't need no PDI stuff on that truck.
Yeah. Jeremy Rice was saying 10,500. I think that was for the green APU.
Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. If you want an APU, there's a place in Springfield, Missouri. Since you're just out there, you can book a load back out. It's called, I think it's called Dave's or something like that, APU or
Is that where Super Trucker Dan
I'll send you the link, but they sell a bunch of refurbished used APUs with warranties, and they're like way cheaper than brand new ones. I was actually looking at one because I want to put one on our truck too.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to do it. I'm convinced.
I'm not coming in the truck until there's one of those in there.
So we can run the AC.
I don't think you want to go in that truck anyway.
Jessica,
That sleeper's tiny.
Tell them to put a 70-inch sleeper on it, then you go in there. He needs a bigger
Yeah,
sleeper.
no, my dad, I would go with my dad. I mean, I was a child, but I would go with my dad all the time. And I don't know, babe, you know the details of all my dad's trucks. Did he have a sleeper bigger than what you have ever?
Yeah, a couple times.
Okay.
But I mean,
and he's a big old man.
Lola had a 36-inch sleeper, little coffee sleeper.
Yeah, no, I know Lola was small.
Nick's like I ordered the truck and didn't know the beds were smaller.
I really thought it was bigger.
I actually told Nick because he had just worked the grape season again, and he's sleeping, waiting at a field like 4 hours like this.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, when you get a truck, there is going to be time, especially if you get a reefer, there's going to be waiting time. And how nice would it be to like take a nap? That's not like all weird or like whatever on the truck goes. So I think we should just get a small sleeper. Yeah. And so I'm actually the one that was like something to sleep on.
I was already planning to get a sleeper, but yeah, you were you were good with it. Because I was gonna get one, even though, and I was halfway on the fence, only when I thought I was gonna stay on sulfur, because it is paid by the hundredweight. And
well, yeah, and that makes sense that you buy a small sleeper truck, obviously, because you want to be light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I built that truck just in case I was gonna stay there. So it's lightweight except for the Cummins. I decided not to go lightweight on the Cummins, and I didn't go super singles. I was actually contemplating super singles, but I just decided I didn't want to fuss with super singles. So.
Do you know the stamp weight of it?
17,000, just like low 17s. I wanted to.
I want to say the real difference between like a 63 stand-up or a 70-inch stand-up depends on what you put in it. And a 48, it's only a few hundred pounds, really.
Yeah,
it's not that much. My W900, the stamp weight on it is 17.9.
Yeah,
and you know, it's
I guarantee you it would have been not that much. But I actually from an aesthetic standpoint, I like the smaller sleepers.
Oh, I do too.
I really don't want to be in the sleeper as much as I have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. Once I know, like if we get on something more consistent or dedicated, and I know that I'm going to be spending 4 nights a week or something in the truck, then it'll be a little different. I'll probably be able to. Sorry. I'll probably go with the bigger sleeper on the next one. I don't know. I was looking at BT Truck and he said, Jessica, make Nick get hotel.
I don't know. Is he saying that I made you get one, or is he telling me to make you get one?
No, you were like, why are you going to spend money? Don't spend money. And I was like,
that's what I said. He was like, I think I'm going to get a hotel room. And I was like, why? And he was like, because it's hot. I was like, oh, okay.
Don't you have a
I
sleeper?
Didn't we do that for this very reason? No, but I couldn't do it with the heat. The heat, it's like, who wants to sleep sweating? Like, no thanks. Like, So he needs to, I didn't know, I never thought of all the things that are super expensive on a truck for a lot of things that are necessary. To me, it was crazy that it cost $10,000, $15,000 to get on your truck. I'm like, it's insane.
Yeah.
That was what it's like.
That
There's
is.
need for your truck to run and don't cost. I don't know. It just seems like crazy.
Those things are, every bit of it is markup, because those, I mean, all you have is you have a little diesel engine, you have a AC compressor, and you have an alternator, and you have some radiators here and there. There's no way that stuff should cost $15,000. I mean, you're talking about $2,000-$3,000 worth of parts, realistically speaking. I mean, they used to be about 7 to 8, so they were doubling their profit margin there. Now they're a lot more. And you being in California, you have to get a CARB compliant one, so that's even more.
I know.
But I'll send you that link to those guys out there in Springfield, Missouri. You could probably get one cheap over there. You could probably get something for around $5,000. That's like got warranty and all that.
Yeah.
I thought it would be, when we were first looking, like I just literally put my phone up and like Google searched it just to kind of see. I was thinking it would cost $3,000 to $5,000. Like in my head, I was like, okay, like, oh, it'll probably cost like this much. My mom always had a joke, because they ran their own trucking business as well, is that everything costs $5,000. He was like, oh, we have to do this. It costs $5,000. Oh, we have to replace this. Oh, it costs $5,000. It was like the joke that everything costs $5,000. So I thought, oh, probably $3,000. Like, depending on what model you get, whatever. And it was like $10,000, $12,000 for installation as well. And I was like, wow, okay, never mind.
It's trucking. Well, you could though. Don't you have a window on the back of that sleeper? Knock that sucker out. Get you a home AC unit. Go get a Champion generator at Harbor Freight. $400, $200-$300 in an AC unit. Hook that sucker up with some
window
gas
unit. There you go.
You'll be staying nice and cool.
Yeah. Isn't that what Matt does? Didn't Matt do that?
Yeah.
Right?
He's not impressed. But my image, I got that El Hueso sticker on the back window.
That pretty truck.
I was gonna say, have you seen my truck? Do I look like a DIY kind of guy? Get some duct tape.
If you want to be fancier, you can go get a mini split, which is a little bit nicer because it won't look all janky. But you're still going to have one of those cheaper gas generators because you don't want to spend $15,000 on an APU.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard to be like high class and a cheapskate at the same time.
So they actually make some battery powered ones, and you can do solar too, but it's not really that much more cost effective. It's all about the same price.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that was me breaking up because I've been the one breaking up usually when people start, but that was you, Jessica, this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go in and watch Lucy. She has about a half an hour more, and this was her first time doing gymnastics, so she wants me to see.
Okay, take some pictures and videos for me.
I will.
All right.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
I wanted to comment on the comment you had a couple comments ago about the guy wondering what his next move should be. I think his next move should be go get a company driver job and learn to drive and learn the business on somebody else's equipment.
Yeah, you can make pretty good money driving somebody else's equipment right now.
Yeah, people are paying dearly.
There's a lot of people out there that are just literally desperate for drivers. I mean, we came from a pool of contractors where they would literally pay people more than some of these owner-operators out here are making net right now after taxes driving their truck.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about it. It's that bad out there right now trying to recruit. It's to recruit drivers right now and to attract drivers with so many choices to choose from out there right now. It's definitely a driver's market. Sorry about all the bike noise in the back.
Yeah, we got a biker gang going by.
Oh, that's awesome. It's pretty quiet for us. It's just in the background.
They're heading to Sturgis. They're pretty mean.
Wait, how do we go? Turn that way.
Do you guys know anything about YRC?
I guess somebody can come with
Oh,
me.
it's 2:59. Are you going to go to 3 hours?
I'm going to
Did I call it?
Yeah, you did.
Velox Live.
You did.
It's partially your fault, though.
I did.
Hey, Martin, do you know anything about YRC? That's where he's saying he's looking to go.
It's an LTL freight company. I mean, you probably can't go wrong. They probably got good benefits, and if they're willing to hire you, they're probably. I don't know if YRC is union. I'm not sure, but it's probably all like LTL. If you're getting in on the line haul side, try to get in on line haul, because the way I understand with YRC and those LTL companies, you're working a dock and driving the truck, but you're getting paid hourly. So if you can get in on the bottom level right now, and then get into doing like strictly line haul and be one of those guys that swaps trailers in Orland every single day, and all you're doing is driving 250 miles and making a killing, by all means, go for it.
Yeah, that's my father-in-law works for Estes right now out in Nashville, and he was doing the city work for a little while, and then wanted to get more onto like the line haul stuff. So right now he's on like a short haul where he does like a 7-hour run, and then comes back and puts in like 5 hours going and doing like swaps at different warehouses and stuff, and he enjoys it. He'd like to get on one of the good line haul gigs where you just like you said, put down your 550 miles for the day and then go home with a pretty decent paycheck at the end of the week. But he doesn't want to wait that long because he'd have to go back to the bottom of their like priority list, because the way they do it there is you're on one seniority list for city and then another seniority list for line haul. So yeah, if you can get in on line haul when you're starting and learn doing all that, I would say go for that. I always try to encourage people to buy a truck, but honestly, with everything going on right now, if you don't already have a truck and you just got your license, I would say get a job and work and then like create a plan for the future to build up to that when things kind of normalize anyway.
Well, but you, just like yourself and myself, I'm going to tell everybody, go get your own truck. The reason why I'm going to say that is because you don't want to work for people. I've always been an entrepreneur, you could say.
Yeah.
I don't like working for people. I did it for 5 years and I just didn't like it, and I don't want to go back to doing it. So that's why I have my own truck. And I always say mine, but that's just the force of habit. It's our truck and we're doing it together. But
I like the way you say that as you make room for in the camera shot.
Right? No, see, she's usually the one that says mine, and I'm usually the one that says ours, but for some reason in these videos it always comes out as mine.
You just like to think that.
Anyway, quit making me lose my train of thought, woman. I'm going to tell everybody to go get their own truck, because you shouldn't be a slave in working for people. You should go out there and try to better yourself. You can be a businessman. It might be harder for some than it is for others. For me, I wouldn't say it's hard, and I might jinx myself, and my engine might go out tomorrow, but I don't mind buying a truck that's worn out, because I have mechanical abilities. I can fix stuff myself. I can rebuild stuff myself, and I don't. If I have to drop and pull the cylinder head off the motor and replace cylinder packs, like just look at just Truckin's video, man. He lost his motor. He rebuilt it himself. No experience. He did it. Anybody can do it. If you follow the book, you can do it.
Yeah.
If you have a driveway and some tools, I mean, it might be harder for some than others. If you live in an HOA neighborhood, they're probably not going to like it. But you can probably go to a buddy's house or somewhere, or rent a shop space and do it yourself. So there's people out there willing to do it and loan you tools and stuff like that, and you can learn. The best way on is to learn on a truck. It's pretty easy work. It's a straight. Once you get all the emissions crap out of the way, if you have an emissions engine, it's simple. They're easy to work on. They really are. And if you don't mind getting dirty every once in a while, buying a truck for $20,000, and it used to be $5,000, but now it's $20,000, you can make money with it. As long as you're willing to turn a wrench on a weekend here and there. And then I'm not saying you're going to have to do that every weekend, but it might happen every other weekend or once in a while. You can make money at it. I mean, especially guys who live out in the Midwest, they have such an advantage over us because they have the freight base. They have the ability to buy any kind of truck they want and work it, even leased on. They can literally be home. Nick, those guys out there in the Midwest, they can be home pretty much, if not every single day, and make more money than what we're doing out here in California. It's just the truth. So,
yeah, that's the goal. I want to get out there.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll tell everybody to buy their own truck. Don't be a slave, but I mean, to start out, if you're brand new and you just got your CDL, unless you have some mechanical abilities and you know your way around a truck, probably go drive somebody else's stuff, beat it up for a little bit, get some experience, and then go buy your own truck.
Yeah.
I saw a comment there saying that YRC is union, so
Yeah.
I heard a union is not a bad place to be as
For
an employee.
benefits for sure. Now, I'm not necessarily a pro union guy, but I guess they have their place.
That's what I'm saying, like as an employee.
Yeah. Who runs the money, me or Jessica? We actually do it together.
Aww.
We kind of, like, she does. I say together, but really it's like we talk about what she's gonna do. She actually does, like, physically does all the payments and all of the moving of the money around from accounts and stuff. So
are you saying that you YouTube together?
no, but we do the money together.
Money together.
Together. But she won't go trucking together with me. That's not happening.
Wait till the kids get older. She might want to. She'll be like, I'm going to get my CDL. We're going to go be FedEx ground line haul drivers together and go to Tracy Terminal every day and go get on our assigned route.
Only if
Tennessee.
Yeah,
Nick's like, screw this Peterbilt. I want fuel mileage. I'm going to go buy me a Cascadia now.
Yeah, Cascadia with a hammock to string across the doors to hang above the seats.
And two coolers.
We actually had a guy asked to do that. Did you tell him that?
Pretty sure I told you the story. 2 coolers full of beer every week on the truck. Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's bad.
Guys like that exist. Trust me.
Yeah, Nevada said he thinks the more owner-ops out here, the better the market, healthy competition. He's heard guys preach anti-owner-op, yet they're owner-ops. Yeah, that's what I hate, when guys are like, oh, it's the worst, and this and that, and they're like complaining, but then it's like they're out there doing it, making a living for themselves with a truck, and you're like, yeah,
they're scared.
I used to have friends back in the day. We were all, hanging out, and we'd drink beer on the weekends, or whatever you want to call it, on the weekends when we were home. And, we were all good buddies. We talk trash, locker room talk, whatever you want to call it. But behind your back, they'd stab you right in the back if they could get your contact from you because you hauled for better money than they did. And I was always more than happy to share, because if I had a contact to go around and they needed more trucks, I'd share it with them and they'd go in and do it. But then they trash talk you and stuff like that. So you got to be careful with who you're dealing with. You don't want to give out too much information out there. And that's the thing with like these YouTube truckers, it's like, it's not trucker code or owner operator code to give your contacts away. And you guys are out there posting all your stuff, how much money I'm making here and there. And then that guy's picking up the phone, like, hey, I'll do it $100 cheaper.
Yeah, you got those people.
But that is really the reality of trucking sometimes, and you got to be careful. But yeah, there's guys that are going to down you because they don't want you to compete with them. Because if you're out there, then you might take their load off the table, or you might move it for a little bit less, and then he's going to have to move it for less. He's going to have to compete with you. But obviously, with watching Velox 18, he doesn't move stuff very cheap, so that's not the case. He gets top dollar. So
well, and I the way I see it is, I'm a business, right? I'm a service provider.
Yeah.
So
this ain't no charity.
But just like any other service provider, you've got some that provide good service, so they charge higher, amounts, and you got others that provide the cheapskate service, and yeah, you're gonna have some that maybe give really good service even though their prices are low, but those are rare. And so I just kind of feel like, everyone kind of understands you get what you pay for, and I think that there's the same thing in trucking. If you want an owner who cares, who is going to be on time, who's not just I don't know. I still get floored in this game, in this industry, when guys like purposely don't show up on time to something because they just didn't feel like it, or because, well, they
Fashionably
expect
late.
me to do this, and it's like they don't expect you to do anything. Like you volunteered for it, like you signed up for it, and then you're over here saying, well, they held me up at the shipper for this long. It's like, yeah, but you knew that was a possibility when you took the load, and now you're over here. So I don't know. Like last night, I drove through the night to get my first delivery. It just kind of it sucked, but
Yeah.
but I did it, and they paid me a decent rate to do it. So
Yeah, trucking can suck sometimes, but man, then you got to take the good with the bad. You might have a really crappy day one week, and then the rest of your week will fall like dominoes, and you'll do great.
yeah,
That's what I tell Alice. In our first video, I looked like I was melting down, but in reality, I was just fuming. I was mad. I was exhausted. I've been up a long time, and we were supposed to pick up the load at 10 o'clock, and here they're telling me that it's not going to be ready till like 3 in the morning. So, yeah, I was a little bit pissed, but it's just part of trucking you got to deal with.
you're melting down and getting pissed looks nothing like mine. I thought you kept your cool, and you were cool as a cucumber, and I was like,
No, that was
like,
after. That was after the fact. No, you know why? I was probably because I was up for a pretty long time because I couldn't really sleep the night before. And when we got there, and the guy was like literally talking to me like I'm a child and telling me what I can and can't do, and with my very own truck, and I'm just kind of listening to him like, man, you must have got bumped in the head by something really hard this morning. And I was just letting them talk, and all I did is like realistically, they told me one rate, and then they changed the rate, and I thought they made a mistake. So I called them cool as a cucumber, as you say, and I'm like, hey, I thought you guys are gonna pay $3,000 instead of 2, and I was gonna get 1,000 for the deadhead, but all I'm seeing is 3,000 for their total rate. Is there a mistake? And he just flew off the handle. So I already knew that there was a problem there. He's lying. I mean,
yeah,
there's a reason why he's going off the handle. He's lying. So that was it. And I was going to keep going. I was going to actually go out to do that load. We were going to go to Denver, come back to Fontana, go to Ohio, and then come back home, and I was going to be done. But
I wasn't having it.
They did. We're going to make a video on this, and whatever we were supposed to get paid by them, we got paid. So I'm not going to knock them on that. But, I'm not going to work for somebody that's going to talk to me like that. It's just not going to happen. There's got to be a mutual respect here. And I'm respectful. I'm a respectful person. If we're going to work together, let's respect each other. But he clearly wasn't having that. And I should have got the gist of it when we were over there and we were signing paperwork to sign on. And he was screaming at a driver on the phone. And I was like, well, maybe the driver sucks. But no, that wasn't the case. The driver probably didn't suck, and it was the dispatcher.
The driver might have sucked too. I mean,
he might have sucked. Who knows?
Yeah.
She loved the babysitting over there. That's for sure. The babysitting was nice.
I think if you're capable of handling a business and like being responsible with whatever the business needs you to do, as far as responsibilities of keeping records and things like that, by all means, I think you should go out and buy a truck, because I know for my family, trucking has been very good to our family and has kept a roof over our heads. Even when the economy went to crap, we still had a house to live in. We still had food.
People got to eat. Trucks got to roll. And Nick, you may agree or not, but obviously with your own authority, you got a lot more workload. You got a lot more paperwork that you got to do. But even when you got to do the crappy part of it, which is paperwork, and you do it, don't you get a self-satisfaction that when you actually do something like that, because it's your business? Yeah. It's literally your business. So it's like, there's other parts of it, other parts of trucking that people don't see. It's like, oh, there's Velox driving his truck, go and pick up this $10,000 load to LA. But then they don't see him doing IFTAs, they don't see him doing fuel receipts and tallying up all his expenses and stuff like that. But that's the part of the business that, you crunch your numbers, and that's the part of the business people don't see. That also is, like, to me, is satisfying because it is my business.
Yeah. And that's when I decided I could go on my own authority, because when I was leased on and I had multiple pages of my spreadsheet tracking all my numbers and keeping track of my expenses as the year goes on, so that at the end of the year I wasn't having to do this 3-week long purge of all my receipts and stuff. It's like,
you should
I kind of was geeking out on it, and I was like, I could do this. Like, I liked it. Like, I actually enjoyed like spreadsheets and keeping things organized. And
you should just give a whole year's worth of receipts pulled out of your cubby in the top of your overhead thing over there in your Peterbilt to your wife at the end of the year. He's like, here's the expenses.
He used to do that to me, no joke. And then like I would even after I found
hey, it's your fault for not getting after me earlier.
And then after I'd file the taxes, I'd like go through his nightstand or something, and I'd find even more receipts. And it's like, dude.
And I'm usually pretty organized, so it's unlikely. It's just when I'd get home from like running out there all over the United States, I just didn't care, and I was tired. I figured she knew I got receipts on the nightstand.
Okay, so that's what I'm running into now, though. So when I was local, it was easier, and I had like a set schedule, and I was off every weekend. Yeah. And now I'm like, this is a lot harder to keep up on because I'm running odd times, odd hours. You know, like this weekend I ran all weekend except for yesterday. I took 18 hours off yesterday. But you know, it's like I'm not as organized as I thought I would be for having my authority.
It's because when you get out of that truck and you close the door and you go home, your plans change.
Yeah.
I'll admit I got receipts still from when we were running loads with that other company in the truck. They're in an envelope though, but they're still in the truck.
Well, the year's
probably should be.
But the year's not over. The year's not over.
You picture in your head that you're going to be like, "This is how I'm going to do it," but reality's like, I'd rather just go to bed.
Yeah, like I thought I would have like all my fuel receipts because I get them emailed to me right from Pilot, which is actually one of the reasons why I've continued using the Pilot Flying J card and not switched, because it's like, well, I just kind of want to be able to search Pilot Flying J, and because I right now don't have a folder for all of my fuel receipts on my email. They're just all scattered in my email every week that they send them. And then at the beginning they were sending them every like 3 days because I didn't have credit with them yet or whatever. So it was like they're having me pay my bill like every other day or something like that. So I would get like 2 or 3 a week, and then so I've got so many that I've got to like push all into a file and then track all those. Anyways, it's more work than like admin work than I wanted, but at the same time, it's my company and I want that freedom. So that's what like the cost of it.
Hey, isn't Miles going to school for that?
That's okay. I was telling him, hey,
hey, you know what? You could be like, you want to practice on old man's receipts here?
Yeah, exactly. Here's your first lesson of business school. Do my taxes. Track my expenses. But all right, I think let's see.
Let's wrap this up because battery finna die.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done. Looks like all the comments have slowed down also. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys Trucking Together for joining me for the entire 3-hour live.
Told you.
We're troopers.
Yeah, all the way. Your butts are probably sore from sitting on the steps.
Yeah, it's horrible. Can't you see me rocking?
I gotta go cook some hot dogs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks. And go check out Trucking Together's channel, Trucking Together.
And Velox 18.
Yeah, check out Velox 18's channel. It's awesome.
All right. Talk to you guys later, and thanks for tuning in. See you guys.
Thanks for having us. Bye.